The Rap Roundtable.
Episode 120 of New York's #1 podcast for hip hop. Get your ones up in the chat. This is the Rap Roundtable. You know what I mean? And as always,
you niggas won.
You know what I mean? We do what we do, how we do what we do.
Yes, sir.
We gotta say it again.
You niggas won.
We the best. Forget about the rest. It's your boy Jarvis alongside Sincere Rap Snob.
What up?
Alongside Deanie the Balance. Alongside the homie Mase. You can find the Rap Roundtable on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and of course Twitter.
Everywhere.
The beat you hear in the background is brought to you by Sincere Beats. He makes beats.
Super producer.
And please don't get offended when we say we the best. It bears reiterating.
I fucking get offended.
I mean, no, don't listen to him. If you doing this and you're not saying you the best or you're not trying to be the best, don't get offended when the other niggas say they the best. You know what I mean? We talking our shit.
You niggas won.
We say niggas wash because we just think we're better than everybody. You know, maybe it's a New York in us. You know what I'm saying? But don't get your panties in a bunch. Don't get offended. Nope. We are the Rap Roundtable. We pod. We talk about rap. We talk our shit. And we invite the shit talkers to sit at our lunch table.
Yes,
if you want to cut ass, talk about rap, talk about women from time to time, a little bit of sports. You know, niggas in Canada don't like that. You know what I'm saying? We do it all. You know what I'm saying?
Don't put the shoe on if you're not ready to wear it.
Exactly.
You know.
Get comfortable, get cozy, get your food. Hope you enjoyed your commute. We need 400 likes on each and every video.
Yes,
400 plus. Y'all been connecting on that number. Even when the views is not as high as we like, they make sure they smashing that like button.
Always.
So keep running those likes up. You know, shout out to all the real humans.
Hey.
You heard?
Humans, man.
Shout out to the real humans out there that make the Rap Roundtable a thing. Without the real humans, we won't be able to do the things that we do. And again, I'm going to throw a little tease out there. You know, as of right now, we got a very big guest that's agreed to pull up. I mean, scheduling matters, but nevertheless, he said yes. And it's somebody you want to hear from.
Absolutely.
Sometime, maybe in June-ish, if things break right. So make sure y'all keep your eyes open. I'm going to follow up continuously with said guests to make sure it happens. This would, considering everything that's happened, this will be the biggest guest we've had today.
Yeah, man.
I'd agree.
Again, he has agreed. We just have to make sure that the schedules make sense.
That's it.
If the schedules don't make sense, then I'll just blow it up and spoil it and tell you who it was. I'm not going to tell you who it is until after, you know, we make sure the schedules make sense.
Facts,
You know what I mean? But again, hit the like button, run those likes up. You know what I mean? Shout out to the homie Walt in the cut. There was some comment, I forgot who wrote it, but they were saying some shit about, like, what if Walt's not a real person? If you go back like 2 episodes, Walt's whole thumb is in the camera. That was last episode? Well, shit. How the fuck he wrote that comment and Walt's thumb made a guest appearance?
Right.
Come on, man.
Hey.
You know what I mean? But
Watch the whole show, man.
Walt is a real person. You know what I mean? He's in the cut. Sometimes you hear him laughing if you listen closely. He's in the room too.
It's the 6th man, bro.
But anyway,
Walt the Great.
let's get into some pod activities. This episode
Yes.
120. Right?
Get it.
We up there.
So, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Akademiks.
20.
Man, we just did 100. We were so hyped about 100. Now we at 120.
20 in, right?
They're going to be here sooner than you think.
Moving,
But
man.
and we skipped past our 6-year anniversary too. Like, you know what I mean? We ain't even acknowledge it. It's been 6 years we've been doing this.
Hey.
But I would say it's been 3 years that we've been doing it the right way. The first 3 years we weren't potting right. You know what I mean? I want to keep it racked. The last 3 years we've been making it make a lot more sense.
The once a month thing, man.
Crazy in hindsight.
Learning curve, man.
We had to learn and we had to commit. You know what I mean? We had to understand how the internet works, and then we all had to commit to dedicating time potting at work.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you go back, there's videos of I'm in my old locker room potting, nigga.
Yo.
8 a.m.
You know what I'm
Niggas
saying?
in closets,
Wasn't it,
bro.
man? Sometimes it was 7 a.m., wasn't it?
Yo,
Yeah,
AM, bro, like crack at dawn shit. In the chat,
Yo.
you know what I'm saying? All the people that fuck with us for like keeping niggas pushing, like keeping us going. We know, like, you know, on the Mondays, you know, if we not there by like that good 7:35, they ready to, you know what I'm saying, pitchforks on deck.
Yo.
They want to see the team. So salute to all of y'all. We love y'all. We appreciate
I'm saying
y'all.
we understood we had to make the commitment because we're all in the same physical space together
Right.
every other week. You know what I mean? It's not solely, we do the online thing, but it's not solely online. If it's online, like, schedules are much easier. But to get us to be in the same physical space, like, we're all grown men, adults with families, and shit, you know what I
lives.
mean? So, but at a certain point, we have to press that button and be like, nah, we have to go full throttle with this.
Lock in.
You know what I
And
mean?
we match the guys so crazy that people think that this is the only thing we got going on. They be comfortably thinking that like y'all go so hard for
That's
this
what y'all
podcast.
do.
I'm like, boy, if you think we went hard now, we ain't even. Honestly, this shit easy. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Right.
crazy.
We probably do a lot more work, motherfucking, at our actual 9 to 5s
You
than
make it
with
look
this
easy.
podcast.
How about that? You make it
Yes,
look.
definitely.
I mean, it's become very easy, you know, when you actually know niggas.
Extremely
You know what I'm saying?
nice,
It makes
yeah.
it makes
Talk
it a
about
lot
it.
easier.
Talk
You know what I'm
about it.
saying?
Facts.
But anyway, Akademiks. He was on his stream. He said that he spoke to a couple of rappers, and they feel as though Kendrick Lamar has killed hip hop. They feel as though, basically, I'm gonna paraphrase it because I'm gonna give y'all my takeaway from what was said. They were saying that, because matter of fact, no, let me not paraphrase. Let me be responsible. The whole gist of what they were saying is that because of what happened in the past calendar year or so, people are more in tune to what's being said by the rappers, the lyric breakdowns, and the things of that nature has kind of gotten corny because everyone's always fine-tooth combing bars and thinking about the art again, right? So the rappers he spoke to have an issue with that. So for me, my takeaway was these rappers are mad that Kendrick Lamar is trying to make rap not dumb. It's been a lot of dumb shit happening in rap for quite a while. So now these rappers
Who were these said rappers?
He didn't name names. But now these rappers are mad because Kendrick Lamar made rap too smart. The stupid niggas is upset that Kendrick Lamar made rap.
Sheesh.
Where's Fat Joe at? Like what?
Did he at least mention what region they were from?
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Nah, he didn't.
What the fuck?
You serious?
I'll,
Well, hold
I
on.
have my guesses, but I don't want to offend nobody.
What's that?
You're mad that
What's
rap
that,
is
brother?
not dumb anymore?
Yeah.
Because that's the gist of it, Sin. I'm coming to the rap snob
I
first.
I wouldn't even use words like smart and dumb necessarily.
But he's saying that
It's
the
just-
fans care too much about the lyricism. They combing through
well,
lyrics.
well,
They
that
want
but,
brain dead shit.
right. Well, but yeah, you're right there. But I'm just saying, it's just putting more of an emphasis in a spotlight on the artistry. You know what I mean? The actual lyrics. Like it's crazy because I just saw a shirt on IG that says lyrics matter, and I was like, yeah, I gotta cut this shit. It was black and yellow too. It's gonna
Oh,
go
not
with my
not to make you fact shirt.
nah, not
Okay.
that. Yo, why?
Yo.
I was trying to hold. Nah, all right. Yeah, just cut that whole shit out, man. We're gonna have to.
Why we not
Why you-
cutting it out? Why are we cutting it out?
I'm just.
I didn't say nothing. You didn't say nothing.
Oh man. all right.
Sometimes that's the joke.
Nah, all right.
Did you see the shirt?
Yeah, I didn't.
You ain't see.
I didn't.
You ain't see the video I posted in
Not
the chat?
not
I
the
see
lyrics
that.
in
You
that
gotta,
shirt.
you gotta pay
That
attention.
shirt-
to
that
the
shirt
chat.
only-
You missing shit.
That shirt only comes in small and medium.
Yo,
Uh,
yo, that
Nah.
shirt though.
I see the shirt.
damn it.
I seen it.
Um,
Hold on, let's not get to
Where
talking
do we
about
go?
clothes. Niggas
Like,
get mad at us.
where do we
man.
go?
Not hip hop talks, but them niggas in the chat
Oh,
who've been
man.
trying to critique outfits for the past few weeks. You know
Come
what I
on,
mean?
y'all.
As
damn,
you were
man.
saying.
Nah, but it's really it's about the fact that Kendrick Lamar, and he's not the only one, but he's at the forefront in the mainstream, right? And we've been talking about this for years. Like at some point, there's got to be some type of reset. Somebody's got to hit the reset button. You know what I mean? And like we've had the Griseldas and the Rock Marcy's in the under / overground. You know what I mean? Cole is out there, but now Kendrick has really he's the
face
culmination.
He's put a major mainstream face.
Right.
on the
He's
shit.
the culmination of it. Now people are starting to pay attention, like, oh shit, like this rap shit isn't just about shaking ass and fucking, drugs and getting lit, you know what I mean, and smoking hookah and just saying dumb shit just to ride the beat
right.
for you to shake
Dumb
your ass
shit
to.
to ride the beat. I see cooking.
You know what I mean? Like there's actually artistry to, or there should be artistry. There's supposed to be artistry in the lyrics you craft for your rap songs. You know what I mean? And once upon a time, that was something that was respected and lauded. And then over time, we've had the conversation. I don't want to piss nobody off. But certain things happened over the years in the early to mid 2000s. Certain regions took it and ran with it and like ran it into the ground.
Uh-oh.
And for a very long time, the focus has been mainly on shaking ass.
He getting in trouble again. This guy. Like,
Listen, look, we gotta talk. But
why they gotta catch a string?
Did it not happen? Am I making it up?
Let me take this.
All right. Thank you. And I'm gonna go a step further.
This existed.
It happened.
That's
Miles and South Star too.
This is true.
Designer.
This is true.
It happened.
This is
bro.
true. This is true. Right?
Before
they was taking
tried it too.
Cues from the wrong
High
place.
hater happened, bro.
It did.
Can't just blame one region, bro.
Hater.
Ron Browse happened, bro.
Pop champagne.
Yo, to this day, I can't
Jumping out the window with this one.
Dude that made
Ether boy.
what to this point was probably the biggest diss record of all time.
Mhm.
I mean, we could give it to Not Like Us at this point.
Nah, I still Ether.
But Ether was a whole different monster for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
That guy that made that beat ended up fucking auto-tuning it
Ended
and
up jumping
popping
out the window.
champagne. And
I was outside for that.
It was a joint though.
Shout to the Ron Brown.
Nah,
though,
in
bro.
hindsight,
knocked.
that song in particular was terrible.
Jumping
out the window with this.
didn't it start going viral
Don't forget,
again?
give me
on
$20.
Twitter?
At the
you know?
party, yo.
Oh,
I saw
$20?
mad
No
people
wife
like,
in the
yo,
club.
like,
Wife
I can't
in the
believe I was
club.
not
Had
to
joints,
be
bro.
that
Listen,
Yeah,
man,
do that.
I was there for the Harlem joints and bootcut jeans.
getting
You
light?
know what I'm saying? Like,
And them
You was getting
truies.
light,
you know what I'm saying?
Like-
Real light.
Mace,
You know,
you
light heavyweight.
You let it rain to clear it out.
Come on, man. All that.
True
Chicken
religions
noodle
with
soup.
with
the
the
soda
whole
on the side,
the whole
big.
samurai
A ginger
scene
ale,
stitched
you know what I'm
into the
saying?
pocket.
Yeah,
Nike
man.
boots?
Pretty much.
I was there. I was
The
there.
antiques, you know what I'm saying?
Antiques.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Yo,
A
was
solos.
there.
You know what I mean? I was there for this
Was
era,
there,
bro.
Mo.
Shouts to
man.
Ron Browns, you know?
Shout out.
All right. But back to the matter at hand. Yeah, man. Like, we have to at some point start respecting lyrics again. Start putting the spotlight on lyrics again. Like, it can't be. And here's my thing. Like, and I've thought about this for a very long time. That some people are gonna get mad at me. I might get us canceled. I don't know.
The world's mad at you right now.
I might get us
I should
canceled.
have went to Mace.
I might get us
You know what I mean? I
canceled.
thought the responsible thing was to ask in his opinion, but apparently not.
I thought
Because a certain demographic of listeners
Mm-hmm.
only want to listen to music that makes them shake their ass.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of the guys ran with whatever made that demographic shake their ass. Right? No,
Uh-oh.
I'm bugging.
You're treading into some crazy
All
territory.
right, I said,
Yup.
You're
You on your
treading.
own, bro.
all right.
You're treading.
And so, you know what I mean? Like,
Like, no.
so overall, like, the whole art form took a nosedive because, like, all that mattered was shaking ass and going after.
That's not true.
The people that was shaking
Before
it.
the ass shaking music, they was trapping.
This is facts. And they always
was
was
snapping.
They've been ass shaking for a long time.
The trapping and snapping was not part of the ass shaking too.
Not really.
Nah.
There was a big Venn diagram that
Yeah.
included all of that.
It
Nah,
was-
you
in
had the
one
crunk
amalgamation.
niggas. What's his name?
Yeah,
Lil
Captain
Jon.
Lil Jon was ass shaking.
But I don't think Jeezy was.
Right.
Jeezy was. That's true.
But we don't
T.I.
account for the yin yang twin niggas. So you gotta account for them
Yeah,
niggas.
but the yin yang twins.
Whispering.
You gotta-
Okay.
Them franchise boys.
Yeah, you gotta account for those. You know what I'm saying? The Laffy Taffy
It's-
niggas. You gotta account for D4L. You gotta account for all
There
that
was
shit.
a lot of overlap.
R.I.P.
Fabo.
Shorty Low. Like
There
we
was
gotta
a lot of overlap there that led to a long ass run
Ringtone
of
niggas.
bullshit. You know what I mean?
Ringtone rap.
Anyway, to put a
Wow.
bow on this, it's time to put the bullshit away. It's time to pack it up. Time to flush it. You know what I mean? It's bullshit. It's shit. Flush it. And we got to come with, more artistry, more concepts, more stories. You know what I mean? Newer stories. You know what I mean? Newer flows. More charisma. You know what I mean? Like something. You know what I mean? We can't keep rehashing the same songs and the same ideas and the same topics over and over and over again. You know what I mean?
What is
And
charisma in 2025, though?
That's a good question. But that's what Kendrick Lamar brings to the table. Every single time he comes out with different flows, different musicality, different stories. You know what I mean? It's always a breath of fresh air when he comes out, right? Whether you know what I mean, it started with Good Kid, Mad City, Some Paper Butterfly, motherfuckers didn't like that. All right, let me do Damn. You know what I mean? Damn, if motherfuckers wasn't fucking with Damn, he went all the way to the left with Mr. Morale and the Big Step.
Niggas love that.
You know what I mean? A lot of people love Damn. Some people are like, it might. Look, the way I look at Damn is like how certain people looked at it was written back in the day.
It didn't. Not really. There ain't much conversation
I
around.
don't think
maybe y'all niggas.
I don't think people.
I'm just saying there was like it was dope. It was. I'm just saying it was dope. But there's definitely a segment of people.
It's not political enough.
It's not that it's not political enough. It's just. You know what I mean? Sonically, it leaned a little bit more commercial, and some people wasn't really fucking with that.
It didn't make me want to rage against the machine.
So, you know what I mean? So, anyway, point being, Kendrick Lamar always brings something new to the table, something fresh to the table, and that is exactly what hip-hop needs. So, he has done the opposite of what these rappers told Ak, that he said he
Thought you was ordering a sandwich.
Word, like,
you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Big nigga cheese with this tape. You know what I mean? The Aki way. Can I tell you, I hate that shit. What the fuck is the Aki way? I hate that shit.
Niggas is brutalized
making me look a
beef
fucking
patty.
meme, bro, and I hate this shit.
Brutalized
like we
beef
wear
patty.
toes.
That's what it is.
To the beach and shit. They be memeing us. They
Strong
do.
points by Sincere to rap stop, as expected. When I see this, I'm like, this is right up Sincere's warehouse right here. He's going to hit a triple or a home run with this one. And he cleared the bases.
Yes, sir.
They need a balance. These unnamed rappers say Kendrick Lamar has killed hip-hop. What are your thoughts?
Like you said there was a snappy era, you know, that came up and kind of knocked that version. That's why I would like to hear who he was talking to, because I have a feeling that those people he were talking to were the people that came up in that snappy era. We came up in the lyrical era, so listening to Kendrick get super lyrical is like it's right up our alleys, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like we come from that lineage. But if you were raised on Kendrick Lamar shit is like calculus, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is like homework, and then it don't help with niggas like y'all, you know, like with the whole biometrics of it all. You know what I'm saying? Like I said it last time, bro. Like the nigga Kendrick farts, and it's something he was purifying the air. Like no, he farted. That's it. Like there's no secret meaning.
Give me that cup, man.
There's no specialized meaning.
Yeah, nah. He's saying stop gassing these motherfuckers.
Yo, like
somehow
stop gassing these motherfuckers.
These niggas.
You know what I mean?
Yo, you see what I'm saying? Yo,
wow.
Shout out to you, Sam. But yeah, I think a lot of people are just.
Somehow you find a way to kick Kendrick back.
Nah, it's not. But yo, honestly, I dig it. You get what I'm saying? But I dibble and dabble. I like the ratchet shit. I like the righteous shit. But there are some people who only like righteous, and there's some people who only like right. So if you only like ratchet, this is probably the worst time for you, because Kendrick is ruling the airways with righteous shit, even if it is party shit with the GNX album. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But like there are a subset of people who are like, yo, I haven't hit the spot in a good minute with something to vibe to. And it's been a while. Like, when's the last time we had like a true club banger? I mean, you could say not like us, but I'm talking about like a cheek shaker though. You know what I'm saying? A rump shaker.
That's Kendrick's fault?
I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying
that's what they say.
He cleared the lane to kind of like he shoot him away. You get what I'm saying? Now that we're only doing smart shit. Yo, we only doing smart shit now. So all the fuck shit kind of got to go over there. But this is the type of time.
He's the old man screaming out the window.
He kicked niggas off the lawn. That's what he did.
Nah, but he did it though. He spoke to Aubrey. Niggas, so it was like everybody else just like, oh fuck, if we talking to Aubrey, he got to be talking to me too.
But sometimes the shit when niggas started this pod, the niggas think like, yo, we gonna have 20 racks. We gonna have 20 rack followers. We didn't know that when we the first pod, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
every
vision. You know what I mean? You can speak for yourself.
No. When we first did it, I was like, people gonna hear this shit. They gonna be like, yo, these are some entertaining niggas. They're funny. They're charismatic. They bond well together. It works all around. And it's real Avengers type shit. But I thought, yo, what if niggas hate us? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But whatever you do, every step you take, you don't know what the footsteps gonna leave behind. When Kendrick did this reshift, maybe this was a part of the shift he was talking about. Like, I'm with the coach's feeling. The culture needs to feel more rappers who have a message, rappers who have a true saying.
Nah, but you got, what's her name? Glorilla. She making they still shaking ass to Glorilla.
I mean, there's like 3 or 4 good joints on the top of my head right now from that Glow album. That's one artist.
Lotto did her thing. All the ladies still got the ladies shaking ass.
If you go to the spot right now, we're gonna hit them 3 Glow songs. You're gonna hear 2 Sexy Red songs, 4 Drake songs, and by the time you're 2 drinks, it's time to go. There's not that many.
Nokia is ringing off right now. You
that's one of the 2 Drake records. You know what I'm saying?
Now.
Like,
what you need?
How long you trying to be in this spot for? If we got 3 hours,
the old shit.
I got 3 hours of good hits today.
Play the old shit
of ass shaking music. No, we don't have that.
You're not in the club for 3 hours.
I'm not. Yo,
you're not in the club right now at all.
But
don't tell nobody my business, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Look, that's another thing we gotta sort of dig into. Pause.
Send her Glorilla went crazy.
I was trying to find the word investigate.
He wants to investigate her. You know what I mean?
It's necessary though. What they do matters. You know what I'm saying? In the right environment.
But this is another thing we got to investigate is like these younger demographics out here. Are they clubbing?
They may not be clubbing, but they outside. But they outside. And they have the outside soundtrack.
Nah, they outside. When
the drill music was ringing off, they had their playlist. You know what I'm saying? You know, Pop Smoke was on it. You know, Chef G will be on it. You know, fucking what's my Sleepy Hollow will be. You know what I'm saying? You had a list of artists.
Still party. If you go on socials or you scroll enough, they still go to these events. They go, they do their thing. They go to their little socials and they
cook.
It looks different.
I mean, shout out to Chef G going through it right now.
They just standing there.
They getting sturdy.
Yeah, they doing that Cash Cobain move. Though.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sexy drill shit. But like, yeah, like I feel like both are needed. But Kendrick has changed the landscape though. People want a more demure form of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
No, I'm serious. Yo, that's what niggas
call Kenny demure.
They want a more substanced type of hip hop right now. Yo, yeah, man.
PG Lango be in your comments.
I'm just saying.
The fuck are you talking about?
That's a beautiful thing.
Fuck are you talking
but I'm saying,
about?
like, if you were raised on the ratchet, bro, like the Kendrick shit might be a little tough for you to process if you're not built to understand that type of shit. Like, it's like listening to homework if you're not built for that type of shit. And I think
saying they stupid.
Or they just not built that. They not like that, I guess. I don't know if they stupid or not. I don't know these niggas.
Not like what?
I mean, you gotta be a smart nigga to listen to Kendrick.
So they stupid. I'm
not saying this nigga trying to dog walk me right now. But like, I don't know.
You did not.
I don't know, man. I read the reading statistics, and it's brutal out here. But
you did not let that pass go out of bounds.
I'm just talking about shit.
Can I say something? I don't, because I want to be careful. I don't think you have to be smart to appreciate Kendrick. But I do think
you can't be stupid.
You can't be stupid, bro.
I think you have to appreciate some level of intelligence.
There's depth. There's a lot of depth in Kendrick's music, bro.
Right. You have to appreciate depth. You have to, like I've said before, bring something of yourself when you listen to Kendrick sometimes. Not all the time.
But you don't got to do that when you listen to like Travis Scott. For a Travis Scott fan, for a Drake fan, you don't have to bring your brain with you to the spot.
$300K first week. Kendrick ain't stopped that nigga.
Cardi's a part of the
142
just the Sonics. You know what I'm saying? No one's going to Cardi for no lyrics. They going to him just because they want to hear how shit sound.
Hip-hop, though.
It, of course.
Like, look, here's the thing.
It's like ragey kind of. That ragey hip hop is a different animal, bro.
Sorry, because I know we're trying to get to Mase, but I remember a time when I appreciated the fact that I would listen to a song and it would spark a thought that I'd never thought about before, or it actually mentioned, like a historical fact that I wasn't aware of, or it taught me about a historical figure that I never knew about before. You know what I mean? And it led me to, do more research. It led me to even what gets me so mad about people that shit on sample-based music, like sample-based music led me to discover the music that was sampled.
The prior, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it opened up a whole new world of all the artists from before I was born, from soul and jazz and prog rock and that I was never aware of. So it's like, I like it. It opens door. Like I like music that opens doors to other thoughts and other music and just other
thought-provoking
other
music.
chambers. You know what I mean? I like when other chambers are opened up. People, I guess, want closed chamber. They just want to be stuck in what they like, and that's it, and not be bothered with anything outside of that.
Like you said, I could listen to bands and make her dance, and I could listen to what goes around comes around, bro. Like I could do both.
Duality is clearly
You know what I'm saying?
unlimited concept.
That's a fact.
Mase,
That's a fact.
You've been dominating this segment.
Nah, y'all cooking. I'm in the audience this one. Y'all really cooking. The thing is, I got a couple thoughts on this though, right? First, Akademiks showed like a huge lack of awareness by even saying this out loud. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, did he think like we was gonna say, yeah, he's cooking with this one? Niggas is too smart. Like, it just, like, watching it, I was like, why is he even saying this? Like, did the rappers that told you that, they probably didn't think he was gonna go on there and say this shit.
I don't even think those rappers exist.
You know what I mean? It's probably like Trippie Redd and NBA Youngboy, bro. Like, it's that shit was like, it was a complete lack of awareness by even saying this. And he's kind of been going on with this trope for beyond just, that little episode. Because even when Cardi's album dropped, he mentioned feeling like not only Kendrick, but Kendrick and Drake ruined hip hop. And on that aspect, I kind of saw where he was coming from. This is like, come on, man, like, You just sound crazy when you say that. I almost went there, guys. But like, so I look at it and I say, like, when he says, yeah, the stannery, you know what I mean, the trying to take down something as soon as an artist puts up, like, anything Kendrick does, the whole Club Paradise calls it terrible, and I'm like. Can we be a little bit less, you know what I mean? Because Drake fans, before the battle, as crazy as it sounds, Drake fans used to like Kendrick. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it wasn't like this type of thing where if you like Kendrick, other than Sin, it is not this type of thing. If you like Kendrick music, you hated Drake. If you like Drake, you hated Kendrick. They had a lot of fans that kind of overlapped. Yeah. It's only since this battle, a lot like Jay-Z and Nas, if you want to be honest.
Here's my thing, though. It had nothing to do. Neither one of those things had anything to do with each other. Like, I hated Drake long before.
Right. I'm not saying no. Yeah. He didn't start this Drake thing here. This was like perfect for Sin.
That's finally has somebody that could say the things he's been saying.
Right.
A lot of somebody.
Right. Yeah. So when he had that to say, I kind of understood where he was coming from, right? Because it is hard to be on your timeline nowadays and see like the Stan Wars and what we spoke about not too long ago. People like completely like making shit up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like trying to have to go through that to just enjoy some music. That's whack as hell. And if he was on that aspect, I was agreeing with him. But this here, like, you just sound like an uninformed listener. Like a person who was not really a hip hop fan. This is no different than when Kanye had to replace the mindless gangster rap that was out. You know what I mean? When DMX had to replace the shiny suit era. This is no different than that. It's a reset. It's consumers or consumption got too out of control, so we needed, you know what I mean? This is, Occupy Wall Street type time. You know what I'm saying? Like the abundance has gotten too crazy.
Too many SKUs. Too much Target.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Right. Too many SKUs. You know what I mean? Shouts to, the Mighty Most.
I mean, it's kind of like, as you said, it's like a season finale, so to speak, and now we're in a new season,
right?
And it's a bit of a slow burn,
exactly. And if you Akademiks, I know he like to act like he's a certain age. Akademiks is no younger than me, might be older. You know what I mean? So he knows like that if he has observational skills, which I know he does because I watch his streams, then he can see this is how the game goes, bro. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with clothing, same thing with the way people live. Like, there's always a reset. If things went too far one way, it's always gonna go the other way. Once it's gonna happen again. You know what I mean? We're gonna get too highbrow and too lyrical and too good, and then it's gonna be the McDonald's time again. That's just how how shit works. You know what I mean? So
shit, you spitting right now.
You know,
that was kind of what the South did. They became the antithesis of the highbrow New York, East Coast
cool
shit.
vibes.
And people
just
loved
we
it.
just want to have fun. Fuck y'all take rap too serious, and we didn't
people
appreciate
gravitated
that.
crazy to that,
Right.
bro.
And in the beginning stages, because look at the irony of it, Mace. You made a hell of a point there. We didn't appreciate what we call the bullshit. But let's say now, let's go in a time machine, right? Let's go find us in our early 20s when the South first took over, right? That was what, 04? So yeah, early. Denny and I were both 20 at that time, right?
Good times.
Imagine if you copy and paste us to like 2016 when DS2 dropped with our 20-year-old ears. We would hate that fucking album.
Hate it.
Yeah.
So it's like, to Mace's point, yeah, it's a little resistance now, but in time they'll come to appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
That's always how it goes. You know what I mean? And so it's very interesting to see somebody who should be able to notice kind of, you know, spit in the face of it. But I understand, right? Because Akademiks, as much as I'm a fan, Akademiks kind of, you know, his hustle is the stupid, right? Like, so it makes sense that somebody like him would be upset about this, right? So, in the rappers that he communicates with. So I find that very interesting. The elephant in the room, though, because I heard you guys say a lot about, you know, what Kendrick is bringing, what Kendrick, you know, what Kendrick wants for the game, what the type of shit that he's trying to make the norm, right? And I kind of agree with it for the most part, and morally, I disagreed with people completely. But if you telling me that, then you telling me that he gave Playboi Carti 3 songs on his album. Playboi Carti kind of represents in fully the shit that we're saying Kendrick wants to change, right? So it, you know, it's kind of weird. Does he want to change it, or does he just want to be the top guy amongst it? You know what I mean? It's right. Both.
He's not trying to. He didn't say he want to eradicate what Playboi Carti does. He just want to make sure that the art form is also respected.
Right.
He didn't play a particular card and said that a culture is dead. I'm sorry, Nas, you said it. And the timing of Nas saying hip hop instead coincided with the South going on a run of a lifetime. Kendrick didn't make that claim. He's just saying that the art form needs to be respected.
To a degree, that let the party die. Watch the party die. Kinda. I don't think that I thought that the Playboi Carti feature run was coming after Watch the Party Die. So I don't know.
But here's my question: is Playboi Carti really part of the party?
Yes.
Yes, bro.
Is he?
1000%. Yes.
Okay.
He's writing that Future, Uzi.
He is the party, bro.
I don't know. I'm just saying, look,
Trav Scott.
I'm not gonna.
Parties are slower, like you said.
I'm not gonna sit here
It's down
and act
tempo.
like I can digest 30 Carti songs in one sitting. But from what I've heard, I feel like there's some type of artistic separation between Carti and the guys you just mentioned.
I mean, it's turn up rage music. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it is? Tricky. I got my own other take on this topic, but when it comes to Carti, I feel like Carti, he's part of the party, but there's different sections to this party. Like, I don't think, like when Kendrick made Watch the Party Die, he was even looking at a Carti. He wouldn't have got them 3 features. I think he's looking at a particular wing of that party. Because you could go to a club. Let's go back to the club, guys. It's the niggas who don't get no hoes, and they just be in the front of the club. They're near the exits. You got the guys that like to dance, and they in the middle of the party. You got the alcoholics or the guys who love a bev. They linger by the bar, and whatever the ladies that feng shui their way to the bar, you highlight them on their way. And the further in you go, the closer you get to the VIP, the coach steppers, the niggas who stand on the couches and shit like that. And I think that Kendrick was talking to those guys, the Harlows, the Drakes, the Yachties, the guys who are not necessarily, in Kendrick's opinion, giving back to the culture or even upholding the art form in any kind of way because they have the brightest light on them. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I think, me personally, I think when he made Watch the Party Die, he's talking about those guys. Because the thing is, I don't think he's looking at Carti as that type. Carti, He's at the party. Cardi's in the middle. I look at Cardi, he's in a little mosh pit somewhere. You know what I mean? He's not standing on the couch.
Right
to me, just my idea of Cardi is he's not too cool. He's in a whole other part of this party. People that we might not even want to talk to. Cardi part of the niggas who's not allowed to smoke in the club, but they still roll up and smoke in the club anyway. That's how I view him. You know what I mean? I don't even get Vulture advice. I think he's in his own lane. To me, Travis Scott's in his own lane. Them guys is Uzi, own lane.
And I think that's the point I was trying to
So the culture vulture aspect outside, that made
Drake is surrounded by guys that we look at as either industry plants, culture vultures, or both.
Yeah, Cardi's never been anywhere near the culture vulture aspect. It just turn up tunes.
Cardi was chilling with Drake before he was with Kendrick. Man.
He wasn't. Yeah, he was chilling with Drake, but was he on the scene the same way a Yachty was?
Nah.
All right, that's all he's saying. You know what I mean? And the thing is, it became very notable that when the 20v1 happened, who moved away from Drake and who stood next to Drake. Mm-hmm. All the vultures that we might consider vultures stood next to Aubrey, while the other guys they left the section. And they tried to go to the middle of the club, or they tried to run to the bar.
I mean, he's on the We Don't Trust You album, you know. Mm-hmm. So
he left the section. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Rose left the section. Rose ended up getting punched by the bar, but he left the section. You know what I mean?
Sipping Canadian gin.
You know what I'm saying? Kendrick has his own section as well in the club. His section was not as popular as, I'm sorry, Kendrick fans. It is what it is. His section was not as lit as Kendrick's section. But now, after shit has kind of gone down, that people are moving their way, or they're leaving the club and they're watching the party die. So it's like it's a great reset to Mace's point about things. Like right now, we're in a way, and I think Deanie said it as well. Like people are a little afraid to come back outside with the shit because they don't know how it's going to be received by the masses. Yeah. But all of that being said, my issue with this thing is, starting with Akademiks, and I always lament this thing. And, I'm old now and I can lament properly because I've lived through enough shit with rap that I can look at it from different perspectives. Because, again, I do like the bullshit. When Future was on top of the world, I was right next to him. I was getting speeding tickets. I was living my best life. You know what I'm saying?
Turn up.
Facts. When I was younger and niggas hated Dipset, I was waving the fucking eagle flag. Nigga, I love Dipset. When niggas would tell you, Cam is corny, you don't got no balls. When the highbrow niggas was shitting on Cam, I was right next to Cam. Yeah.
Putin.
All right.
Shout out
I was right next to Cam.
Yeah.
When Max B was about to take over the world, I was right there.
That's a fact.
So as much as I love the lyrical smirkle shit, I always enjoyed a good wave as well. You know what I mean? But at the same time, what I don't like is second place trophy energy. I've always talked about that shit, and I feel like Akademiks right now is propagating second place trophy energy. Just because Kendrick Lamar won a battle, and he might have changed the palette of the majority at the moment. That don't mean that rappers should just now start complaining. When I was younger, niggas competed. Even them Atlanta niggas, as much as we give Atlanta so much grief on this pod, there was mad competition in Atlanta for who's supposed to be the best or the hottest, whatever they metric was.
They was fighting for it. Yeah.
They was fighting for it. You feel me? And I feel like to complain and say nigga killed hip hop because they can't make bullshit anymore, or people are listening closer now. Nigga, if there's new rules, either lean into what made you good in the first place, or adjust to the new norm and try to kill that shit. What happened to competing?
Well, here's the thing, if I could chime in. Because ultimately, I think what's happening here is like we're having a battle between art and skill versus hustle and the bag.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's so many motherfuckers out there that's like, I know that they look at the space and like, I could do this shit. This shit look mad easy. You know what I mean? I drag a couple loops in, make my own beat.
And they diluted the shit. We gotta cut that out. I'm sorry, everybody can't go.
I mean, harmonize a little something, say, a couple bullshit bars here and there. You know what I mean? A little chant and boom. You know what I mean? I'm out there. You know what I mean? I could flip this into a hustle.
All right, so all right. Great point, Sam. But you know what? Again, you could look at it that way and say, fuck, I can't get the bullshit off. Or I can try my hand at whatever the new norm is, right? You know, I got to thinking the other day. I was at work. I ain't gonna tell you where I was working. You know what I'm saying? But I was at work. And at my job, you know, we have a lot of instrumentals. You know? So we get to choose what we want to play for said instrumental. And one of those instrumentals was Make It Rain Fat Joe.
Mm-hmm. Wayne, you know.
And it had me, because the thing is, when you really love rap, you end up going onto these deep thought rabbit holes where you just by yourself thinking about shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I fell into this crazy rap hole and I landed at Young Jeezy. And why I landed at Jeezy was, I was like, when Jeezy really took off, right? Jeezy had mad niggas trying out ad-libs.
Yep.
Hey.
And if you go and you listen to the first verse and Make It Rain and shit, look at what Fat Joe was doing with the ad-libs.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, and it wasn't mad niggas. Fucking T.I. T.I. was the hottest nigga on earth. But listen to what you know about that. What was he doing? His best Jeezy impression.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But my point in saying that is that as there was a new normal, the guys who really love this shit and they competitive about it adjusted to the new normal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is what the consumer likes. Let me still be me and put my own twist on that.
But what if you can't do that?
But you ain't trying. You just crying about it.
Because it's one thing for the new normal to be, hey, chill, and the new normal to be like hardcore rap.
Did Fat Joe go to Funk Flex and say, "Oh, the South kill hip hop"? Or did he say, "You know what? Let me try this shit."
Yeah, I feel you.
Couple niggas did.
I get.
I
I understand both sides, but to Deanie's point, it's much. Look,
more complicated.
What was it? Jay said.
Common sense.
Yeah, I dumbed it down, doubled my dollars.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's a lot easier.
True.
You know what I mean? If you it always comes down to like the artist. We say this all the time, like, you know what I mean? Like a artist could do what somebody else could do, but that other artist can't do what they do. You know what I mean? So like if you're already at a skill level of a Jay-Z or Nas or whoever, Kendrick Lamar, you know what I mean? You could pull that back. Pause. You could pull that back.
Warranted.
With a rag on the
I heard a mute with that one, son.
Warranted.
Jeez.
What do you mean by that?
Pull what back?
Yo. Chill.
Oh man.
God damn it.
Never mind. I wasn't saying that, man. I wasn't saying that. I ain't have no
It
point.
don't even matter no more.
Yo, hot route.
But you could,
Omaha.
yeah. I'm saying you could. It's easier. Ultimately, it's easier to dumb it down than for somebody that plateaus or has a ceiling at a certain skill level.
Mm-hmm.
They can't get past that ceiling that they already have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like not at the bar. My fault, Macito.
Because I got a second part of my point, so make sure y'all don't let me forget it.
Now that niggas is rapping. If you can't achieve raps, where does that leave you, my
Everybody
nigga?
don't gotta be nice.
But that's what Kendrick.
That's the thing. The baseline for rap
changing.
used to be raps though. Like that.
Yeah,
that's the crazy thing. Like,
right.
But you could hold on.
Nah, bro.
Matter of fact, let me go ahead, babe. Say what you was about to say before.
Nah, cook Jeff, because I actually wanted to hear your point here.
Because you don't gotta be highfalutin barsmith. You could just have something to say. Listen, look at Paul Wall. Paul Wall wasn't the most lyrical, dexterous nigga.
He was a charismatic
Mike Jones,
nigga,
same
though.
shit. Slim Thug, same shit. But they had something to say.
All niggas with charisma though. What happens if you don't have the charisma?
Well, there you go.
Okay.
That's why I mentioned charisma early.
And the thing is,
either have something to say or have an interesting or charismatic way of saying.
Now the nigga who wants to rap don't got the charisma and don't got the charismatic way of
But
saying.
a lot
What
of
is he
these
to do?
bullshit. A lot of the niggas that I'm calling it stupid, but I'm just being an angry old nigga. Don't take it personally. A lot of them already have the charisma. They don't got the bars. That's one thing you gotta have in this era. A lot of the quote bullshit music that we would call bullshit. These guys are charismatic as fuck.
Right.
But those few niggas that don't have both, and they're not gonna stop rapping. You feel what I'm saying?
The thing is, when we hear these super lyrical rappers, right?
They be the
Kenny
niggas that
being
don't have
one of them.
charisma, man. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
A nigga like Kenny, right? The thing is, I don't know if Kenny want to hear Kenny all day, right? So I don't know if he's trying to. He features with Playboy Cardi, with Kodak Black.
Yeah.
Even the West Coast niggas he get with are not. AZ Shike don't sound like Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay Hitter J3 don't sound like Kendrick.
Kendrick tastes more like me and Deanie tastes. He like a little bit of everything.
You know what I mean? And I
No
noticed that
righteous.
about the super lyrical. Look at who Benny features on his joint. He might have J. Cole, but then he got homie from Detroit. You know what I mean? Like on there. So I don't know if Kendrick necessarily is saying you know,
That's a
I want to hear
Boldy
all
James.
cannabis tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
I
an
still
interesting
think
point.
Kendrick want to hear a little bit of Bob, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You feel what I'm saying?
Who was the other person? There was somebody else that said, I think it was JID. JID said he don't listen
He
to
don't
other
listen to no
lyrics.
super lyrical, like,
Yeah.
right.
Because they live in a brain with them bars. So
Mhm.
they need a
They
break.
might, that's an incredible point. I think Kendrick might feel, and a lot of them might feel like it's a burden almost.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And the other point
see
I
what
wanted
you're
to
saying.
make was like, for them to complain and say, oh, he's killing hip hop, that it goes to another issue that I feel like as the South, because the change and everything started with the South, specifically more so Atlanta than Texas. I'm sorry, Atlanta. Taking over. And them just not knowing their history. One thing about New York, I might not have casually listened to some hippity hop, whatever. That wasn't me.
I just thought about Storm. Every time
You
I hear
don't
that, I think of Storm now, bro. Storm real with me. Shout out to you,
Hip
Storm.
hop started out in the park. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I might not listen to that, but I know the lineage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that for people to feel as though, oh, he killed it, whoever's saying that don't know the lineage. They haven't even cared enough to do the knowledge. And in some cases, they suffer from that Christopher Columbus syndrome where they believe that the starting point was here.
Yep.
And it's like,
Facts.
and I will open my eyes to that point. I'm sorry, Quavo, but I got to do it to you. For Quavo's another guy who's in his 30s. Quavo's not young like that. Quavo's in his 30s,
About
bro.
to be 34, I think.
And he was on a show talking about he never saw the Fade to Black documentary for Jay-Z's last album. Now I'll grant him some grace. He's about 6 years younger than me, so it's a generational gap. But you're a rapper in your 30s, Quavo.
Yeah.
And the thing is, your style, and you're a lyrically say what you want to say. I don't give a fuck. The Migos niggas are
They
real
rapping,
rappers
bro.
to me. Like they lean into bars. They might do some melodic shit. They might do some shit that's kind of like what's homies from Ohio?
Bone Thugs.
Bone Thugs. As much as they hate to admit it, a lot of what they do is Bone Thugs at Jace, or y'all the grandkids of Bone Thugs in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all got bars. And the thing is that Migos on more than one occasion has talked about how much they love New York shit.
Right.
But
Quavo stay bigging Jay-Z up, bro.
all right,
Stay
how you
bigging
bigging Jay-Z up, but you don't know that, and
That
you rap and you lean into lyricism. You haven't done the knowledge.
That was
Right.
crazy. When you sent
You
that, I
don't
was
know
like,
your
wow.
history. We're not asking you to go read books, but at least make yourself aware to know that, oh, all right, Kendrick is coming. So at least, even if you don't make Kendrick type music, you could be like, I know what angle he's coming from. He's doing this because it started here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not even aware of that? Like, that's just bothersome to me.
Club Paradise is currently.
You could be 20 years old, and because Dini made the point that a lot of people are young enough to where when they started getting into rap, they were snapping.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. But I didn't have a Gumby. I wasn't wearing my Adidas. That wasn't my time. But I knew what was going on.
You respected it.
You have to know what's going on. Atlanta didn't even sound like mid-2000s Atlanta in the beginning. Atlanta was more East Coasting than Southern. They had they put their twist on it, but they was Bossmiths in Atlanta. Who's rapping?
T.I.
The fuck no, before that, Dungeon niggas. They was spitting, nigga.
Dungeon Family. Outkast.
Yeah.
It was all rapping.
Yeah.
So it's like for y'all to not do the knowledge and act surprised at what Kendrick is doing, that's a problem for me. So it goes back to something that we talked about a while ago. It's like a lot of people look at rap and it's just a commerce opportunity. It's not a culture, which goes back to what Kendrick said. Respect the art form.
Right.
This is not just a money-making opportunity. It's an art, bro. And if you're not respecting that, you say stupid shit like niggas is killing hip-hop because we had a battle and I won. Like, that's stupid.
Also, like, to give Axe some grace, like, it is his favorite. It's his GOAT kind of got mollywopped. You know what I'm saying? So to hear him say that, it's kind of like saying water's wet. You feel me?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Is it his GOAT, really?
That's his GOAT. Like, Ack is like what, 34, 35?
Yeah, Ack about 35.
He's right in the range where like Drake would have been like the nigga he listened to.
I don't know, man.
Bro,
I
he's
remember
been
back
on a run
when
for
Everyday
15
Struggle,
years. If you've been
Everyday
listening to
Struggle, he was saying Drake don't got no classics. Drake scared of Kendrick. Kendrick got
I don't
classics.
remember none of that.
Should I
Was
go
you
back to the
watching I
videotape?
don't think Dini was watching.
I was.
Everyday
This was
Struggle.
back when that's Complex, right? The shit he did with Joe
Yeah, I was
Young.
the everyday watcher.
I
I was-
dedicating 2 hours, or he was watching.
Nah,
the
I was
clips?
getting clips.
Yeah.
Clips. Shout out to you,
You gotta
Nadeska.
watch them episodes.
Like,
The shit used to be real
I'll
funny.
I'll
bro.
put it on the microphone right now.
shit.
Nah,
You know how
I
to.
don't get fly.
Flag on the play.
We got money. You know what I mean? But let's move on. That was a great conversation.
Yeah,
I didn't think we'd end up building for that long on that topic. I thought we'd be in and out in like 15, 20. I ain't gonna hold you. That sound crazy? All right, fine.
Hey.
Sticking with
Can't be the only one, guys.
Sticking with Akademiks. There was this whole thing with the Los Angeles Ricos, and a lot of notable LA figures got bagged. And around the same time that they got bagged, some of your most notable clout podcasters got together for the link up of a lifetime, and they were calling themselves, or they were called by the internet. I don't know where it started from. Let's be clear. The Federal Five. And amongst this quote Federal Five was DJ Akademiks, Whack 100, Adam 22, Vlad TV, and Trap Lord Ross. So the first issue that I have, I just gave y'all 5 names, right? The first issue that I have is out of the 5, the ratio was 3-2 for them people over there, to black guys. Off the rip, I'm bothered by this. I'm sorry, Wolf, but it's like how did 3/5 of the starting lineup not look like us? I'm confused. Sincere's not white. That's why I said us. Just want to throw that out there. He's not a white guy. Y'all keep accusing him of being white, and y'all calling us house Negroes because we let him say certain shit, and he's not white. All right, he's not even half white.
Never have been.
Not even a quarter white.
But this whole Federal Five thing, and this whole idea that guys are going on these platforms and telling on themselves. Masito, this is more your domain than the guys over here. Why are we calling the Federal Five? All these people from LA snitching on these podcasts. Help us do the knowledge.
Listen, first, I while I agree with you, Joe, this did look a little crazy. The ratio. That's a damn good podcaster. The ratio did look crazy, but I'll say this. Act did say there were open invitations for Budden and old boy from Say Cheese. I forgot his name, Sean Cotton. So I think that was supposed to be
seen with those guys.
He been seen with most of them. I'm not gonna lie with you.
Not in the same room. He doesn't like Vlad too much.
Right.
He hates Adam 22 now.
He love Whack though.
He will never stand next to Trap Lord Ross. I'm putting to put bread on that.
Probably not. I like Trap Lord Ross though. I'm not gonna lie to you. Trap Lord Ross.
There's not enough room in the world for a Whack 100 and Joe Budden in the same room.
Yeah.
Nah, that would be where the fireworks started. Because Whack would start talking crazy to Joe. You know he would.
Why people keep thinking Joe pussy though? That's the thing. Like
Joe used to crash out.
Joe
right, Joe used to crash out.
He's a crash out.
He is, but Whack got this. Whack is different. He just starts screaming at niggas like they don't even know what to say. Like, what the fuck? How you think Whack he was like this? I thought he was cool, bro.
Whack could ask you a question and start barking at you before you can answer the question. Right. Then ask you to answer the question afterwards.
Like, what the fuck? So I have to, there were supposed to be, a couple more of us. Now listen, this shit is out of control, right? I'm gonna assume everybody know what's going on with this Rico situation as far as originating from No Jumper. All of these, gang members, rolling 60s, continuously going on No Jumper, speaking about the crimes. We talking Big U, he been up there multiple times. Whack 100 been up there talking crazy. Loose Cannon, Brick Baby. It's all of them. Of the 18 dudes that are on the indictment, like 11 of them have been on No Jumper.
Crazy.
There's even, parts that they literally said on podcasts at No Jumper. They mentioned it in the indictment, like, oh, we got this from the No Jumper clip. And he was telling it. He was telling the truth. He was snitching on himself. So it's kind of crazy, right? And they call him the Federal Five, This Big U case is out of control right now. Like checking in, all of it. LA, we gotta speak. Justin gotta come through. BTG, Justin. We need our LA representatives to kind of speak to us.
I got a couple of voice notes from Baylor that I'm gonna play for y'all. Because I asked him, because he's out there, he would have a better idea.
BTG.
Right, let's cook then. So, all of this is out of control. The Federal Five, listen. They are federal, right? They do, have countless clips of people telling on themselves, but the people up themselves go up there to tell. I'm never gonna completely take away the agency of a grown-ass man who's so desperately in need of clout that he's gonna tell you about who he murdered and when he did it and where he did it and who knew about it and why he was doing it. Like, it's just, I'm never gonna have complete sympathy for those types. You know what I mean? I can't. You know what I mean? Even if, we know these are exploitative type dudes. We know, they paying these people. We know all of this, but it's been going on 15 years now. The Joe Budden ransom thing happened 15 years ago at this point. Yeah. That was the first time we saw what type of dude Vlad could be in the situation that he created there. You know what I'm saying? So I can't go too crazy on them. As far as the Federal 5, listen, this is, I hate to say it like this, but the appearance of it, the podcast, it was a 3-hour podcast, just everything about it seems anti-hip-hop, if you want to be honest. Yes. You know what I mean? It just seemed like they not like us, Dan. I wasn't gonna get that to you. So. You're not like us, Dan. So it's like it's something very nasty about it. It don't seem like there's anything productive happening from it. Cook.
But why does it get labeled hip hop? Because rappers go on there?
Yeah.
Primarily.
So what's hip hop about these platforms?
These guys,
rappers,
they call themselves hip hop platforms. That's one thing that I cringe at whenever he calls himself and Vlad and Adam like, oh, we are the top hip hop. This, you know what I mean? And what about it is these guys don't critique rap. They don't speak about rap. Right. They don't speak about the music at all. You know what I mean? A lot of them got exposed during this Drake-Kendrick battle for what their opinions on hip-hop really are. Mm-hmm. Their capacity about knowing what hip-hop is, the rules, the rules of engagement, just the way we do things.
The lack of cloth.
The lack of cloth. That's a fact. So it's very weird. I don't know why they get called hip-hop, Job. I don't know why these people could go up there and represent us, right? It seems, we said before the show, it seemed very bizarre rap roundtable-ish. You know what I mean? A bunch of dudes who don't know what's going on. So listen, Job. As far as the actual content, I know I'm probably the only one that watched more than 10 minutes of it. It's as bad as you think it is, right? They're up there talking about the crimes. They up there, making fun of each other, for getting people to snitch. It's very nasty. You know what I'm saying? And we could get into we probably will get into the Big U shit separately into its own type of entity. But as far as this is going, it's nasty. I feel nasty watching it. I feel nasty like that this is a part of hip hop right now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And what's losing me is they being those hosts don't get vilified for the fact that they take advantage of guys who go to those platforms, and they're not going there to get indicted. They're not going up there to even tell on themselves. They try their best to be very vague, but they're not good enough orators to be vague, and they end up telling on themselves. And it's like you're building a platform on people either telling on themselves or telling on other people, and they don't even mean to. And it's like, and most of these people who do that, they look like black. They black. Young black guys going on these platforms, talking to these white faces who basically act like cops, like the best kind of detectives possible. The way they ask the questions. Mm-hmm. Like, for instance, a person could act, like Vlad could ask a question, and the first answer, that person does their best job of trying to evade. But then Vlad will circle back and ask it a different way. And it's like, that's cop activity.
Some interrogation.
Right. And it's like, these guys didn't go. They went there because they have a reputation for being tough guys. There might be rumors about them. They're not going up there to verify it. So, and again, somebody might get mad at me. Now somebody in the chat might get mad at me and say, like, why are you shooting bail? Because they're not smart enough or they're not clever enough to evade it. Bro, in this internet world, bro, it's like the reality is, for as much as it's 4 guys on Rap Roundtable who know how to talk, it's a lot more people who don't know how to handle themselves in that environment. We got these lights in the studio right now. These lights are bright. Mm-hmm. Cameras they have, the atmosphere. You get to thinking. You're not even a lot of. I remember when we first started the pod, and not to throw Sin under the bus. I'm talking about like the infancy. Sin would be like, shit, like there's things I wanted to say, and I didn't remember to say it. So imagine being this guy with real crimes under his belt, and he's thinking the same things. Sin thinking like I wanted to say it this way, but I didn't mean to say it that way. You know what I'm saying? And you taking advantage of these people. That's how I look at it. But I hollered at Baylor because I'm like, we're in New York. We don't know what the fuck going on. We got our own shit in New York to do. Chef G just got back. You know what I mean? Like, we got our own shit to worry about. So I was like, yo, BTG, what's going on out west? So he sent me a voice note. He sent me a couple of voice notes.
Salute.
So, you know what I mean? I don't know if the guys are going to hear it too good. But we feel like the audience should hear from Baylor since he's our West Coast correspondent to give us an idea of what's going on. So I'm gonna play these voice notes. He gave me the clearance. Relax, guys. I got the clearance from Baylor. He said it's cool to play it on the podcast.
Them niggas out there telling on each other, actually snitching on themselves. They killed a young football player out there. He was an artist though. He was a young artist that was signed to Big U's label, and it was some turmoil there. Word on the street is the youngster said he was trying to get away from them, didn't want to be a part of it, put out a diss track or whatnot. They set the nigga up, took him to Vegas. This is all documented, by the way. But yeah, it's a murder case. They got extortion. Adrian Broner is caught up in it. Well, not necessarily caught up in it, but he's mentioning it about the dice games and stuff like that. The whole check-in shit. A lot of money floating around. He's taking the grant money and the money that he's getting from the city and pocketing it and putting it in his own personal account. A lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? You got a son in the league that played for I think he played for the Chargers, if I'm not mistaken. So he had a lot of shit moving. All this shit is just built off of jealousy and envy, though. When speculation was going around, like maybe a month or two after Nip got killed, and they was like pointing their fingers towards Big U, all because of it was just a lot of inside shit that was going on. So we all knew it was a setup. We just didn't know where the setup came from, So it's starting to come together, though. It's starting to come together. It's probably one of the biggest gang ricos that I've ever seen in my life because of Big U and who else is involved. It's falling apart. It's falling apart, and a lot of niggas is scrambling and getting away from them niggas because they don't want to be caught up in it. So it's nasty.
Another note.
Gotten all the way there yet, but they expect a lot of people to start talking. You know what I'm saying? So if Big U go down, I think it's gonna be a lot of cats that go down. I wouldn't even be surprised if Wack get caught up in it some way somehow, unless he cleaning up his shit right now. And again, I don't know none of these cats personally. I may have or may not have people that I'm related to from there, but I don't see them being involved in it or have too much knowledge or whatever, because the gang has been, the 6-0s have been split up. Shit, as long as I've been alive, them niggas have had two different sides. Hence that, him and Nip wouldn't see eye to eye. He didn't go to the Nip funeral and shit like that. So there's a lot of street. I wouldn't say street politics. It's just their politics. It's an old slogan that you're not a real 6-0 until you kill one or whatever. But yeah, I think a lot of it is going to come down to them cleaning up or getting the answers to who actually killed that youngster out there in Vegas. And all signs, as of right now, all signs is pointing towards Big U. They got people surrounding him, you know what I'm saying, that's been talking, that's been on these No Jumpers and Vlad and all these other platforms. All these niggas they just been doing this new shit, which is just talking. They just been talking, not thinking they're gonna get caught. And that's what it is. So I suppose we'll get more answers within the next, couple of weeks or so.
Here it is, Baylor the Great, live
Shout
from
to
the West
BT,
Coast,
man.
giving the breakdown.
Yes,
You know what I
sir.
mean?
Salute.
Sincere. He need to balance. Any thoughts on this whole thing happening out west?
Shit happening out west is unfortunate, but I did want to talk more about this quote unquote hashtag.
Word.
Like I look at this and it's like, yeah, like y'all getting the Vulture Avengers together.
Yeah, it's nasty work, bro.
You know what I mean? The CIA Avengers, like, bro. Because at this point, like, I feel like it's predatory. You know what I mean? It's beyond chasing a bag. It's beyond chasing clout. Like, at this point, it's predatory. Like, y'all really making a platform out of black plight. And not in a way where like you're discussing it in a nuanced sort of way, not in a way where you're like, you know, on the one hand, like, yeah, these motherfuckers is, you know, out here doing all types of crime and killings or whatever. But on the other hand, like the culture that they came up with, up in, and you know the society they came up in, like a lot of them feel like they don't have like there's no sort of nuance here. You know what I mean? You're just doubling down on cashing in on black pain, and that shit is disgusting to me. Like there's no other way around it. That shit is disgusting. Like all of y'all, all 5 or 6 of y'all all disgusting. You know what I mean? Vlad, we've been known Vlad is a fucking vulture. Bruh. You know what I mean? Adam 22, you know what I mean? Again, y'all telling me that he's been doing this shit for years. I've only really like noticed him for the maybe like last year or two. We know he's a fucking vulture. You know what I mean? But then Akademiks, this is the shit that gets me about Akademiks, because I know the type of energy that he aligns with. And it's this. This is what he aligns with. You know what I mean? This is what he puts his value system in. You know what I mean? It's fucking disgusting. Like there's no way, shape, or form that we should be calling this any sort of hip hop platform. You know what I mean? Maybe a rap platform? Sure. You know what I mean? And this I don't want to be the
what's rap about it?
Well, but I'm saying I don't want to be the super old head here, but like this is where I feel like we got to make a distinction between hip hop and just rap shit. You know what I mean? So like this does not align with what the culture is supposed to be about. Again, and I don't want I don't want to look down on any of the shit that's happening out west. You know what I mean? I'm not from there. I don't know what the culture is. I don't know what their upbringing is. You know what I mean? But the thing about hip hop is that it's complex and complicated. You know what I mean? You can't, for as much as I love, you know what I mean, a Mos Def and a Common, you know what I mean, NWA and Snoop and Dre and them and everything that's going on out west and the gang culture, it's all intertwined. You know what I mean? But when we approach these topics, we have to approach them in a way that is nuanced, in a way that is responsible. You know what I mean? And these motherfuckers is just out here being reckless and irresponsible and just cashing in on you know what I mean, on the pain and strife. And it's fucking disgusting.
I mean, but they go up there too. They cashing in too as guests. They getting paid to do these podcasts now.
No, I understand that, but that's where I say it's predatory. Like, you know what I mean? Especially for a motherfucker like Vlad. Like, I know Vlad is up, like, in his crib masterminding. Like, who am I gonna get on here to fucking snitch on themselves and, you know,
go viral.
You know what I mean? Go viral, get the next bag off of somebody, you know what I mean? Like, going to jail.
That's a fact.
There is journalistic integrity to be had in these type of back and forths and these conversations. It's just that all of these guys lack it, right? These could potentially be, you know, entertaining, good, you know, quality shit that's going on, right? I'm not asking niggas to be C-SPAN, right? But I'm not asking them to be the Federal 5 either. You know what I mean? Like the resources that all of those 5 have, the links, the people that they all know, they could actually come away with a decent talk about this, decent story, like some valuable information. But they rather, you know, gossip and get niggas locked up. Dean, what's the word?
Fuck nigga shit. Like at the end of the day, yeah, you should be smart enough to understand like somebody's trying to dog walk you down the aisle, but at the same time, bro, like I done heard Vlad spin a question around 2, 3, 4 times to try to get like how the Fed niggas be doing. You know what I'm saying? To try to get you backtracked and all that shit. I'm telling you right here, right now, if you a criminal nigga and you come on the rap round table, bro, we not asking you them type of questions, bro. We not trying to be responsible for niggas losing their lives, niggas losing their families.
We don't care. You know what I mean?
Like beefs. We don't need the feds contacting us. Like that's just like some crazy shit. Like some shit I seen with Whack talking to the loose cannon nigga.
Yo, there you go.
Like
he was telling Loose to go up there, basically
my
tell the whole
nigga.
story, bro.
Like I feel like I know how the Nipsey shit happened now due to this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like step by step. Like the whole shit is wild, bro. And niggas like you saying niggas is reckless and niggas is unresponsible, bro. Like reckless and unresponsible are terms you use when you value something, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? If somebody gives you a brand new pair, like some sneakers or some shit,
irresponsible.
Irresponsible. My fault. Depending on how you treat them shits, shows how much you care about the shoes. If you don't give a fuck about the shoes, you dogging them's not irresponsible, nigga. You don't give a fuck. You get what I'm saying? So you're not even looking at it from like, damn, I should have dogged your shoes because number one, somebody gave them to me. Somebody spent their hard earned money. You're not thinking about that. This rap culture is something that people have bled, died for, like. Fucking so much lineage. You're not thinking about it like that. If rap was to crash and burn today, these niggas will be pop fucking interviewers. You know what I'm saying? Like Chris Brown, pull up to the like it ain't a hip hop. That's why I don't think it's irresponsibility. I don't think it's not nourishing the car. I just think niggas just don't give a fuck, bro. Like what are fucking Adam 22's true ties to hip hop, bro? Like what brought him here? That nigga looks like a straight skater. You know, but it's financially it's prudential. You get what I'm saying? It makes sense to do that shit.
Maximize
That's it. And the gang niggas go up there and spill their guts, bro. Niggas don't understand how Ricos work. Rico, you thinking like I could tell you some shit I did 7-8 years ago but once the Rico opens, bro, 7-8 years is like yesterday.
They thinking about the statute of limitations, but I'm not sure how that works.
7 to 10 years, bro. If
I'm a civilian,
basically
so.
if you a gang member and you leave the gang 7-10 years ago and we start a Rico, bro, I could potentially pull you into the Rico because it's 7 to 10 years of time that I can fuck. You're still a part of the situation. Sheesh. Like nigga, I don't think niggas understand that. So when Vlad asks you a question about some shit 10 years ago and you're like, yeah, I had to smoke the nigga. Like when the Rico come up, yeah, you had to smoke the nigga, right? Boom.
You said this on episode 325 on Vlad TV.
Like,
but here's the question that I have before we move on. How does this like? Because Baylor brought up even the Broner thing and checking in.
Extortion.
How does that work?
Extortion 101. You want to come to the town? You want to come to New York City? You want to mingle amongst the broads? You want to go to the clubs? Nick, you got 20 grand worth of jewelry on, 50 grand?
Well, hold on.
Help.
Hear me out. Cuz I'm legitimately curious. Cuz it's like I know podcasters can go to LA. They don't got to check in. Is it a matter of and chat? Let me know as well if you got some intel, because it's like, is it if you want to go to certain neighborhoods? If I go to LA, hypothetically, I want to go to some club wherever. I go to my hotel, I go to the club, I get some food, I go back to the hotel.
You need no security.
It's like, when does the check-in part happen?
You want to go to the hood. You want to go to the spots. You want to shoot videos in spots that everybody knows. You want to go to Watts. You want to go to Compton.
Okay, because I'm really curious about it. Like, how do you get wrapped up in that?
You know what I'm saying?
If you out there for months, if you living out there, you know what I'm saying? If you out there for 5, 6, 7, 8 months and you trying to move around, because according to them, they'll come see you at the restaurant. They'll come see you on Rodeo Drive.
How they know you there?
When you a nigga who's a nigga, Instagram. They know you there, bro.
Instagram, and as far and Baylor would be able to break this down even better than I would. But as far as the way I've heard it explained, is that these folks are plugged in all ties of life. They got a valet, they got a security guard, they got a dude that the cashier at the spot. They got, you know what I mean? It's plugged in on every single level.
So they know you there.
According to what I've heard.
Because I feel like I don't hear that happening in New York City. Like, niggas will come to New York, move around New York. But like they can't go to Flatbush, they can't go to the South Bronx.
Like when we seen Future with Jimmy, I don't think that was a check-in. I think that was more of an embrace. You get what I'm saying? But LA move a little different when it comes to that though.
And we gotta remember at this point, the gangs in LA are institution. You know what I mean? Like these is 90-year-old gang members at this point. So it's like for 20 years. New York got 20 years of organization compared to the 60 years of organization that the West got.
You could be because I don't hear no Holly like Leonardo DiCaprio go to LA. The 60s ain't pulling up to Leo to say you gotta check in.
They say they do. That's what they say. There's these dudes that come shoot the movies. You know, I've seen stories where dudes is like, yeah, we were shooting a movie on this block, and some guys just walked up to us and made it. You know what I mean? Like that's. Apparently, that is how they move.
Okay, so they really So
And that's for the big dogs. And that's the big dogs. That's Leonardo DiCaprio, who's not gonna really leave Rodeo Drive and type of shit.
I feel like the rap roundtable go to LA, bro. Like
we not gonna have to check in. We
and not even no tough shit. It's like we gonna go to LA, do what we do, and then get on the plane, go back to New York.
But we not gonna try to be in the midst of the scuffle and all the hood shit.
Right.
We're not gonna say, yo,
we gonna be
Schoolboy
tourists.
Q, give us a tour how the 60s were. We're not gonna be doing that. Like, it's the niggas who say, yo, I'm gonna be in the video. I want niggas to see I'm in the hood in the trap. Yo, let me embrace these niggas. 20 racks.
You gotta check in there. You wanna go to the hood?
50 racks.
You know what I mean? You famous, you gotta pay for that.
I mean, it's been happening for years.
Metro card, nigga.
It's been happening for years. That's the Cali way. It's been that way since the Shook time.
I just be thinking about it. If I'm a famous nigga, I don't want to be over there. That's how I look at it.
That's the way they make it look, right? Like, why would I even want to be subjected to that?
You know what it is? Cali look like a
I don't hear LeBron got to check in. LeBron got to check in. LeBron getting extorted.
They said Shaq had to check in, though.
A nigga might want to go to the marathon store.
Shaq is all over these indictments. Bro, Shaq is all over this shit.
Why the fuck is Shaq checking in?
Bro, according they talk about all type of shit. Shaq
Kobe had to check in. Now I gotta know. Is Kobe on these?
I don't think Kobe had to check in.
How Shaq checking in?
Shaq the type of nigga that'll give me, yo, I want the full hood tour.
They say Shaq was like plugged into all of this. Like for real. Shaq was getting extorted so much, gangs was fighting over who got to extort him. Shaq owed the gang so much money, he started giving other players addresses for them to rob the players. Like, Shaq is plugged into all of this shit, bro. Swear to God.
That's why. You know what?
World we live in.
You make that point. That's why when the shit happened with Cole back in 04, they was like 03 pardon. They was like the streets is really mad at Kobe. And you saying that, so the streets is really mad at Kobe.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's no joke, bro. Like,
yeah. Shaq was like all the way in.
Hope not going to Compton.
Hell no.
Flying over Compton.
Right.
You know
not until Kenny gave the sign off. You feel me?
No, like
that's interesting.
Yeah, Shaq is all up in the middle of that.
So
bro.
if you want to be in the mix, if you want to, you want to be famous but not feel like you're famous, you got to go check in.
Mm-hmm.
It might be like that in the city too, man. It might be a selection of goons you have to
tap in. No, for sure. Don't get it twisted. If you shining and you want to go to Harlem, go to. Where you from? Where you from again in the Bronx, Zini? Soundview.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, you gotta check
it. There is a little contingent you will have to establish yourself.
Do we not remember rapper Shaq? Like, he wanted to be all up in the mix.
all the rapper niggas want to be ball players. All the ball players.
You come through the floss right now as a rapper. You gotta check in.
You say Loose Cannon went up on No Jumper and said he was smashing Shawnee, bro. Like, this is all plugged in, bro. Like all of it.
Camera, like it's
all
wicked,
of it,
bro.
Smashing Shawnee.
What's the word?
He said he was Shawnee's boyfriend. Like,
LA different, bro.
LA's different.
West,
different.
Right, shout out to the West Coast.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's a different world out
Crazy,
there, man.
Because I've always been curious about this check-in shit. I guess I got my own, being that I'm a civilian and I'm not rich. I always feel like if I'm rich, I'm not going there. I live there. I spent my whole life there. If I'm there, I'm in an Uber or I'm in a valet vehicle.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
I got a driver.
We renting the Kenny van.
Go to LA?
I'm in a Sprinter. You feel me?
The Kenny van, bro.
Who goes to LA and says, "Yeah, let's go to Compton"? Like,
let's.
No offense to the Compton viewers, I got love for y'all. You know what I mean?
Salute, but like,
let's get out of the car and stand on the block with these gang members right here. You know what I mean?
What?
Kendrick's coming for you, Mace.
Yep, I'm done.
Nah, the hood is the hood. It's nothing against the neighborhood. It's just like once you get there, it's like, why do you want to go back?
If Kenny came to New York and I seen him in Brownsville, I'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Facts.
Bro?
I mean, what the fuck you? If I see this nigga on fucking Rockaway in Riverdale, nigga, what the fuck you doing over here?
He went to Harlem. He went to Harlem. No, he went to Harlem. I gotta give him his props.
It's two Harlems. What part of Harlem? No, then like
east or the west, right?
Was he in Polo Grounds?
Nah,
like
he was close to the project. He was close to the sin side. He was close to the sin side. I think 140s.
Close enough to.
Now, Mace made a hell of a point. You see Kenny in the Ville, you asking him, "What are you doing here, bro?"
No.
Although
the cops would ask this nigga, "What are you doing?"
It is true.
Are you lost?
Harlem today is not what Harlem used to be.
That is true.
So
he wasn't like in the barrios or nothing like that.
You know what I mean?
Fucking on Bristol Street with the folks like, "Whoa, Kenny! Whoa!
Let me call you an Uber, bro."
What the fuck are you doing over here?
Right here,
Cho's here, bro.
In the trap, nigga.
The wolves are coming. What are you doing? Anyway, I'm moving on. We got another topic to get to. Hit the like button.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
We needed 400 plus likes for each and every video. Shout out to all the real humans. Hit the subscribe option if you haven't by now. We at 20.9K. We need to get to 21,000 real humans. Emphasis on real humans. You know what I mean? We're not out here spending no chicken on no fake bots. We need the real humans to lock in because the real humans uplift the brand. They tune in, they help elevate, and they spread the word.
Shout out to New Delhi and Bangladesh.
Shout out,
man.
Yeah.
Because y'all niggas is uplifting brands.
Keeping the
Not
computers
us, though.
puting.
They are swimming in dough these days.
We're going to make that one of our merches too. Hashtag real humans. You know what I mean?
Real humans.
Hit the like button, subscribe to the Rap Roundtable. Hit the notification bell as well. Quick topic here. Or it depends, I don't know. Unpopular, yeah. Unpopular rap opinions. It's been something that's been floating around the net. And I want to know from you guys. If there's what rap opinion you have that you know people are going to throw tomatoes at you for. But you really stand on this and you believe it. Deanie, I'm coming to you first with this one. What is your unpopular rap opinion?
AZ smoked Nas on Life's a Bitch. Smoked.
What's unpopular about that?
Is that unpopular?
Very popular.
What? No, bro. No, it's not.
No, B-Dot just put him number 1 on his list.
It was number 2, actually.
But
I was number 1.
No, it wasn't.
What's that? Bro, it was number 1.
Not the list.
His number 1 was something else, right?
It was like, it was Noid, bro. That's what it was.
Big
It was
Noid.
No. B-Dot.
No. B-Dot.
Nah, but I have this argument a
B-Dot
lot with
did
people
have
like
AZ
in my circle,
So you think
bro.
that Nas did better or you think that
No, I think AZ cleared him.
that's not unpopular.
But no,
It's very popular.
In my circles, it is, bro. People believe Nas smoked him on that, and I fight that all the time. I got a couple.
That's pretty weird.
You think so? That's why I argue with you about
I
that.
will go to
before, too.
Soundview and debate them, but I'm no
Word.
terrorist.
Shout
Like,
out to Sound.
What's another one?
I'm not dumb.
AZ got it, but like, it's not as lopsided as people.
Takeoff was the nicest Migo. I argue with people about that a lot too.
It's not an unpopular
It
opinion.
is, bro. A lot of people swear Quavo's the
What you
nigga.
doing is so wrong.
How, bro? Should I argue with niggas about on the constant?
Yo.
Doggy style clears
you
the chronic. Should I argue with niggas about? For
Oh, now we
eons?
talk. Now we
Hey.
talk.
Clears.
Yeah,
Now
now
we
you're
talking.
doing it.
Clears. Absol is the best lyricist to ever be on TDE. I stand behind it, bro. Stand
All right,
behind
now
it.
you going. All right,
I'm not,
here we
bro.
go.
Guaranteed.
Kendrick Lamar said he was the better lyricist, bro. I don't even have to
Here we
argue.
go.
That.
Still
The,
got Schoolboy
the nigga
Buck,
said it
yeah.
himself. What else I had? I dig it. Pusha T should rap about coke for the rest of his rap career. A couple of ones I had.
Okay. All right. See the rap sign. What you got? I got one. I don't
I just got one. Shouts to D.
All right. To be honest, I don't know how unpopular this is gonna be. I've never seen this name on other people's lists
Mhm.
when we talk about top 5s. You know what I mean? Ultimately, this is a positive, unpopular take. I think. Common is top 5 all time.
What?
You are
Common
you
is
are-
a top 5 all time MC.
You will remain in
That's-
that chair by yourself.
This is how you do the segment, son. That
The Rap
Top
Roundtable.
5 dead or
that's
alive.
a very unpopular opinion.
Common sense.
Nobody even
common.
has
You
common
stand
in their
behind
top
that?
10.
You stand behind that?
5.
Nah. I love Common.
I
but
could
nah.
I could
Top
go
5
with
Chicago?
10, but I don't feel like I should have to.
Top 5 Chicago.
Right?
Yeah.
Top 5 Shot-Town?
Nothing
Top
against
5
Common. You can't,
Ever.
You
Top
can't,
5
anywhere.
You can't
Top
name
5 that been in
5.
the
You can't
movie
name
with-
5
Really
niggas better than Common in your heart. True of hearts. Nas ain't better than Common.
Nas
Name
is number
5.
one on his
Name
list.
5. Name
Biggie
5 better.
Biggie ain't better
Top
than Common.
5 that
Biggie's above him too.
Jay ain't better than Common.
You got him above Common too.
All right, who else we could go with? Kendrick ain't better than Common to you.
Kendrick's above Common. Then
That's
then-
four.
That's the 5.
So
That's
Common is
4.
five.
So now we just have to find one artist that we would feel is better than Common. You got anybody?
This is your fight, nigga.
Then ain't gonna agree.
Say the next
Nobody
name,
I
Diddy.
name,
You'll be
okay?
wrong.
Better than Common.
Yeah, see, you
Andre,
struggling.
Andre.
You struggling.
Did I
Andre.
say
I'm
Biggie?
giving you the answer.
Did I say Biggie though? I said Biggie.
Andre.
Said Biggie.
You said
You think Andre's better than Common?
Andre is not a solo rapper.
Oh, that's a good one.
Now it's convenient he uses his argument.
That's a good one. Yeah, you see that, right? I would say Pac, but he not the biggest Pac fan.
That's what I'm saying. None of my folks then is not gonna say yes to. So
Yeah. Pun?
Too short of a career. No, sorry. Unfortunately.
who's
I
your
mean,
5?
Biggie had a
Name
short
your
career,
5.
bro.
But Biggie's Biggie.
You know, did he
The
like
most complete MC of all time. He's just honorary up.
Nah, my top 5. He ain't.
See,
he ain't
like,
fucking
but you see how he's struggling though, to come up with a name.
See,
I'm
I
naming
know
niggas.
Sin, so
Listen.
you gotta give him Redman. You gotta ask Ghostface.
He
don't got Ghostface above.
He don't got Ghostface
He don't
above
got
Common.
Common above
Ghostface.
You got Common above Ghost?
Common is above Ghost.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know what did it?
Apple replay, nigga.
The auditorium. That's what did it.
So
That's
prior
what
to that, put him back.
Prior to that, and we had this conversation last year. I'm like, yo, at this point, I got to move Kendrick into my top 5. Who's coming up out that top 5?
And you didn't think to move Common?
And it had to be Ghostface because Ghostface dropped an album last year, and unfortunately, it was. Sorry, Ghostface, I love you, but.
I never listened to it after that.
I forgot
about that.
And then Common and Pete Rock dropped the Auditorium. The Auditorium was right up there.
So it's
for
Common
album
in your
of the
5
year.
already, or did that bump?
That's what I'm saying.
No, he was in my top 5 with Ghostface. But then Kendrick had to be ascended into the top.
And because the album was better than the Ghostface album this
somebody
year,
had to come out that top 5.
He said the margins for error are
it's very, very slim. You know what I mean? Common got I would say at least 2 classics.
You know why it's hard for me to argue this? Because Common's better than most people, but there's so many people I prefer to listen to before Common.
There's 5 albums, at least 5 albums. That's 4 mics and up.
I listened to Prodigy before him. I listened to
He battled Cube. He took down
which
Cube.
is a hell of a
Careful now.
Cube.
The revisionists feel like he won that.
Had his hands full with Drake. Pause though. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not.
That Canada drive.
Wait, time out. You got a nigga in your top 5 that lost to Drake?
Yay!
Crazy.
We way up, we stay up.
Yeah,
it was kind of a draw.
yeah. In a
Canada
Jab
Drive.
Fest,
It was kind of a draw.
In a Jab Fest.
Bodied him so bad, Serena is still salty.
scheming.
It wasn't even a full battle.
Stay scheming is
You know
a
that
moment.
Common's loss is
need no
directly related to Serena C walking up to Super Bowl?
Ain't that crazy?
Think about it.
Lineage.
Stay Scheming, one of B. Dot's greatest guest verses of all time.
Above Nas live at the barbecue.
Yo,
What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, damn,
Come
that's
on,
crazy,
man.
son. That's a good one.
There you go, Sin. Masito, what's your unpopular opinion, bro?
Good shit, fellas. Me, I got one like Jav, man, and I've actually like kind of launched this opinion on the pod before, but I'm ready to just go there. There is no rap album in history with 0 skips. One Time for Your Mind, Cashmere Thoughts, that shit with DMC off Life After Death, Lost in This World off of my Dark Twisted Fantasy.
He's crazy.
Yes, Sin. I'm good. Leave it off.
My downfall is a skip.
Yes, skip it. I'm good.
He's doing
He's
this.
tripping.
And
doing this
another
segment right.
and another with Little
unpopular
Kim too. I might skip both. That's a double
Which
skip
one?
for a double
What's the other
album.
one?
The joint with Kim on there.
Okay, I can
Yup.
see that.
Get them both out of there. 2 skips.
You
for the
should have
double
gone with
album.
that.
Yeah.
You should have gone with that. My
That's-
downfall.
my downfall is
That's too
crazy.
easy.
What's
That's
the
too easy.
skip on Illmatic?
One Time for Your Mind.
Oh,
I'm
you did say that.
good.
You
Get
did
it
say-
out
you
of
did
here.
say that.
No thanks. One time and never again. But
Wow.
yeah, like
but I know what the one he gonna go to.
you know, that nigga Jigga Blueprint. Give me what's a perfect album to you? It ain't as perfect as you think. There is no rap album in history that has 0 skips. So I don't never want to hear a
What's the skip
0
on the
skip
Pac album
argument as a
What's the skip on the Pac album again?
what's your phone number? One of the worst songs in history.
What's your skip on 7 Day Theory?
7 Day Theory, that shit just like Daddy. Like
You wild. I
Pause.
like just like Daddy. Pause.
pause.
Come with me every time.
Pac didn't even know it was that.
Walter says graduation.
Drunken hot girls, bro. That's easy.
Drunken hot girls, get it out of
Drunken
here.
Hot
That was terrible.
Get it out of here.
That was terrible.
That's the shit that got Puff locked up.
But reasonable doubt don't got no skips, bro.
Cashmere Thoughts. I don't
Cashmere-
never want to hear it again.
Cashmere Thoughts is not a skip. You're
It's
crazy.
skip. I've skipped it plenty of times.
No
It's a
way.
skip.
You see how you're reacting, Dini?
No way.
Yeah, you gave us some very agreeable opinions. Now you see
Right.
what's you.
You know. So
This is blasphemy.
How do you feel about Beat as an album?
oh shit.
What's a skip on Beat?
God damn it.
The whole album.
No, you're
Nah,
crazy.
nah.
Fuck up.
I have to go
think
through
there
the
is
track
his mic
list.
off,
B
bro.
is
There might not
B
be a
is a
skip.
super
There
classic.
might, hold on. Let me look at it real quick. There might not
Most
be one.
overrated album.
You know
of
what I mean?
Kanye,
B is a
early
classic.
Kanye era.
Oh,
That
my
album is
God.
classic, bro.
Fuck out
But
here,
I'm
bro.
sure I'll find me a
That's his
skip.
magnum opus to
Dog
me.
capping.
I'm sure I can listen. That's why I don't like the whole no skip argument as it's a classic because it has no skips. Then there's never been a classic in rap history.
Might be the
you know what I'm saying? Because every album I've skipped.
Testify. It might be Testify.
You crazy? Testify is fire.
I don't.
Testify. I don't like it because of the video.
We're not talking about the song you like the least. I'm talking about. But do you have to skip Testify in the process of listening to the album? No, you don't.
You don't have to, but it's easily
skipped.
skipped.
B has no skips.
B is one of them ones, man. I've been saying.
Does it have no skips?
I don't
no
see a skip on here.
Testify is a skip. The guy who even said it.
I love Testify.
I trust Sin's opinion on B.
I've spoke so highly of this. This album is really good, bro. Like,
there's no rap albums ever existed with 0 skips.
Back on both sides of this.
Well, you guys have the last. I'm sorry, Dini. I should have asked you third because these two guys have raised the bar.
They cooking.
But I got my unpopular opinion. I think as time continues to go along, and it's a constant thing, more and more I'm starting to believe that 90s rap was actually the worst thing to happen to hip hop.
You gotta break this down.
Now that,
and I say
It's
that.
been a good run, y'all.
Hear me out.
Drop the mic. He's out of here.
The Rap Roundtable.
there was no 121 happening. Okay, it's done. It's over.
Oh, damn.
First the Fat Boys breakup. All right.
Word. And I say
Sin signed off.
And I say that because, I believe that as time continues to progress, it's become mythical now. You got these online accounts who base their whole shit on 90s rap. They make lists on 90s rap. They grade everything on a 90s rap scale. And it's just like, it's become to a place where it's like, in real time, for the people who lived through it, there was whack shit in the 90s too. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't all flawless. It wasn't all cloth. There was bullshit happening then too. But it's like the 90s is becoming such a talking point on social media to where it's just like, there's no one's ever going to be able to reach that height. They're never going to be as good as. And it's like, is it truth? Are niggas lying? And I just feel like, again, if you would have asked me this 10 years ago, that was grill. But in 2025 and beyond, I was starting to feel like 90s rap was the worst thing to happen because it's become a thing where people keep using it as a crutch, lying, exaggerating, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, you're not giving hip hop a chance to grow, a chance to expand. And these artists who are living in real time a fair shake. For every person like us who loved the Kendrick and Drake battle, there's a bunch of niggas who's called the whole thing whack because it's not as good as some shit that happened in 94. And it's like, bro, 94 was 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Yo. We gotta grow with this shit. Like you keep trying to stunt the growth of hip hop because it's not the 90s. And I feel like that's unfair to the culture.
It is.
That's nothing to do with the music. I love 90s rap. That's still my shit. But the reality is, unless the internet somehow cuts off, somebody pushes Al Gore's turn off button and it goes away forever. As long as the internet exists, the 90s is becoming an impossible, like what is that shit called when you got to jump over in the Olympics? That shit.
Pole vault.
Oh, yeah.
It's like is it
the high jump?
The high jump, the pole vault, whatever. It's setting an impossible marker for you to high jump over, and it's like, bro, some of y'all niggas really are lying, gang. Like, and that's just how I feel. It's an impossible standard, and y'all starting to exaggerate the standard now. The 90s will always be the standard for a lot of us, but the exaggerations, I'm not here for it. I'm sorry, Sam. I'm just not.
I will say this.
He kind of cooking, man.
I will say this.
He kind of cooking.
I saw a list today. Was it today or yesterday? Anyway. And it got me to thinking, when you make a top 10 list and like everything is from the 90s and you call yourself a hip hop head or a fan of hip hop, it's like, are you a fan of hip hop, like the entirety of it? Or are you only a fan of 90s? Right? That nothing from the 80s, nothing from 2000s, definitely nothing from 20. Just that 10-year span. Like, is that all you uphold?
And it really be like a 5-year span. Like,
yeah.
I don't see nothing from 91 on them lists. But
93 to 98. Yeah.
Facts.
So I do.
You can say 92. 92 to 98.
92.
Yeah. So I see somewhat of a point there. I get what I see the vision, John. But yeah, I can't, like, it's not the worst.
I can't, it's something about saying that the best thing that happened to you was the worst thing that happened to you at the same. It's just
an unpopular opinion, Dini. You know what I mean?
I can't. I'm trying to rationalize it,
but by
some shit that a nigga will bark at you about, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Your last lady was so good to you that your next lady gonna be terrible to you. That just sounds crazy.
But hear me out. She was so good that now I'm measuring my next one compared to the last one, and she can't reach that height. But so now I'm a front on her because she can't reach what the last one did. I'm gonna appreciate it for her.
That's true, but we can't negate how amazing that.
And was she that great?
Was, though?
And was she that great, or did you just lose your virginity to her?
I mean, we had the '80s clip.
We cooking tonight.
We had '80s hip hop.
But here's the thing: we can't.
80s hip hop was your Pops magazine that you found in the back. You know what I mean? But you actually clap cheeks to 90s hip hop.
That's a fact. This is true.
We can't hold a burgeoning genres. We can't hold that against the fact that, like, these were the burgeoning years of the genre where, like, you know what I mean, it had its inception and then it had like its childhood, and then all of a sudden in adolescence and young adulthood, like, it really, sort of spread its wings and discovered itself. Like, we can't hold that against them. That's the nature of a burgeoning genre.
This is
cooking, bro. I've always said to myself, my fault. I've always said to myself, in a 50-year genre, if you're telling me all the best shit happened in a 6-year span, then the genre sucks, bro. You know what I mean? So if you're telling me that this fucking fantastic shit that we just celebrated 50 years of, we got MCs that are 50 plus years old, we got billionaires, we just at the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're telling me this was only good for like 5, 6, 7 years, then it's overrated, bro. Either hip hop sucks, or you don't have a lot of taste.
But what if like now I'm saying, now numbers matter. What if 7 of my joints is from the 90s? Like, what if I got Kanye joining there? What if I got Good Kid, Mad City, and I got like DS2 or some shit, but everything else from the 90s, bro? Like,
it still sucks based on what Mase said.
Dead ass.
What about all the shit in between that?
I mean,
all of that wasn't good enough.
Life after, I mean, but
paid in full. What about the DOC? What about fucking, some diggable planets, nigga? Tribe Called Quest.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? There's only 6 niggas that niggas loving hip hop and 8 albums.
But I think
it's true, bro. The infamous and Cuban links. I get it, nigga.
It's doggy style.
I think ultimately what it is, it's an appreciation for an art form blossoming.
Right.
You know what I mean? These were the blossoming years.
Right.
Where people, where it felt like people cared the most.
But you know what the problem is?
And the balance that was.
And we're guilty of it too. Part of what we loved about the 90s in some cases is it was part of our youth. It represented the little ground that we were walking on in our neighborhoods. It literally represented that. And we loved it. Mm-hmm. We loved it because some of these rappers were from our towns. They were from our cities. They talked about the shit we wanted to talk about, right? But then, hear me out. But then when the South got it, we started screaming it's not hip hop. But the reality was they've been shaking ass. They've been coming up with different melodies and different energies and different vibes in the South. And those artists were speaking to those people in that neighborhood. And we hated that shit. And we tried to say they weren't hip hop. Sorry, Nas. But they tried to say they weren't hip hop. But for them, that was it. Because there was a nigga who was probably doing that snap dance in the neighborhood for years before it became a song.
Right.
And we tried to shit on it. Yeah. Why? Because it wasn't the 90s shit. It just became, and that impossible standard started then. We started judging niggas for liking what we considered bullshit because it wasn't this. While the artists in the South were speaking to people that they felt related to. The Mike Jones shit. We always go back to Texas. All them Texas niggas, they was shit the swanging when they had their cars and shit. Niggas, that was lifestyle. That was culture. But it wasn't New York shit, so we didn't like it.
Well, let's take it.
Me and ASAP Rocky was the only one.
Let's take it to the lawn early.
Okay.
Let's go to my lawn early. Right. I have a lawn. Like I plant some.
Shit, we done sipped on lawn, sin lawn by accident.
Well, look,
goddamn, I'm cooked.
I plant some begonias in my. Okay. You know what I mean? Now, if I really care about my lawn and the life that it spawns, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take care of it. I'm gonna cultivate it.
Right.
And have it live for as long as possible. You know what I mean? So like if I see some weeds, you know what I mean? I'm gonna take care of those weeds. I'm gonna get them shits the fuck out of here. However, if all I care about is watching a flower blossom, and that's the only thing that I care about, and I'm like, all right, it blossomed. That was my enjoyment. That I'm fulfilled now in watching this flower blossom. Whatever the fuck happens to it now from here on out, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Let the weeds take it over. That's how I feel like a lot of motherfuckers out there look at hip hop. You know what I mean? They watched it blossom. They have the memories of the best years. You know what I mean? Watching it, you know, the petals open up and everything. Pause if applicable.
Right.
And now they just, you know what I mean? Like whatever happens to it from here on out is like, oh, that's not my fault. Like y'all supposed to be taking care of it to this very day. But y'all only look at the 90s and nothing could ever compare to the 90s and be like, all right, whatever happened after that, like that's not on me. You know what I mean? Y'all let the, no, you were supposed to take care of it too. You know what I mean? Take care of your garden. Get the weeds the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? If there's some fucking gophers and shit, you know what I mean? Lay some traps down. You know what I mean? But y'all just let shit happen to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And let me tell you,
the blossoming.
Right.
You got to take care of it throughout its, like have its lifespan be as long as possible.
Yeah,
I dig it.
Yeah. Unpopular opinions here at the Rap Roundtable. Don't get mad at me in the chat. You know, it's unpopular opinions. In fact, chat.
You was cooking with that one, though, dog. You was cooking.
Shot,
Hey,
you was cooking.
That's the point here. Chat, throw your unpopular opinions in it. Don't leave it to us to talk for you. Put it in the chat right now.
Get controversial.
What are
with
something you feel in your core? That's an unpopular opinion amongst the people of the cloth. Let us know. But we got to move on.
Yes, sir.
Masito, it's your turn. Your segment. People be asking when it's not here. When we gonna get that Mace segment?
That's a fact.
So
That's
you know,
a fact.
It's the young rap, it's the industry. Masito delivers the news. Let's talk about it.
We got to get into the industry this time, guys. You know, here we were way before, you know, the two biggest stand bases in rap were constantly attacking each other with Billboard placements. Before we were in the hashtag dot era, I see you 2 T's. We were kind of like the first people kind of like really delving into the numbers, how the numbers got to where they are. What about the numbers, you know, equals this, that, and the third? You know, we was talking about that for a minute. Yes,
Facts.
This is pat ourselves on the back time, guys. But you know, the rules changed. This is a fluid type of situation. You know what I'm saying? So we got to speak about it because, you know, Billboard in recent years have made multiple changes, right? We know about them not to be able, like Kendrick couldn't have thrown Not Like Us on GNX and sold 10 million the first week, right? They changed that rule. They changed a couple more rules. They changed radio rules. So radio counted a little bit more than streaming in the modern times. That was a recent rule that got changed. There's been a few, and you know, we not sure who decides to make this. Lucian, I'm looking at you. We're not sure who decides this, what goes into it, but when something happens, we gotta let y'all know about the new rules. So Billboard has made some new rules to be counted ASAP, which kind of is very interesting considering, you know, this Kendrick Drake battle. Now, what Billboard is saying that they're trying to do, they're saying they're trying to stop chart manipulation, which is all right. You know what I mean? Like, that's the definition of the charts. You trying to stop it by manipulating it. Interesting, guys. The interesting double talk. But the main rule, the main takeaway here is that what artists are not going to be able to do is that, and we've seen this a lot in recent years by all of the top artists, is that you can't drop that album price anymore midweek, guys. I'm sorry. You can't sell your album for $10 and then like on Tuesday you decide it's $8. Then on Thursday it's $5. Lil Baby, Drake, Nicki Minaj, a lot of the people who got recent #1 albums have Travis Scott. He's like the master of this shit. He be selling his album for like $1. He be selling vinyls for like 50 cents. This is not allowed anymore.
Gotta go.
Album price is album price. If it's not $10, it's not gonna be counted anymore. Like the money will go in your pockets, the fan will be able to listen to it, but it's not counting towards your streams, towards your sales anymore. What? You can't drop those half price albums.
So what does it count as?
Nothing. I would assume.
Wait.
Yeah, it just
Cooks and
listen.
Quick question. Does it have to be $10 or does it just have to be a consistent price?
I believe it's above a certain price. So I don't think you can sell it for like $5 or $2 anymore. You know what I mean? I do think it has to be over. I don't know the exact price. I know the chat. Y'all probably could look this up for me. There has to be. It's a specific price point. I'm not looking at it right now, but you can't just sell it for like $5. You know, unless it's like depending on it. If it's an EP, you know what I'm saying? But you cannot sell a full-length album for $3 anymore and thinking you can run up the sales. Another thing that they stopping, they're changing kind of the way the internet can capture your sale, right? So you can't be in Argentina mass buying Drake albums and thinking they're gonna count towards the US sales anymore. They are making sure that they're knowing where the album was bought, the country it came from. They're changing those rules. They're also changing the mass bulk buying rules, right? So you can't just buy 30 albums in bulk anymore. You're going to have to buy one album at a time. You know what I mean? You know that capture thing? You know when you trying to put in a password and it says, pick the bicycles. You know what I mean? Now that's what's happening when you buy an album now online. They're making sure it's not botted. They're making sure it's a real human, shouts to Job. And they're making sure that you cannot just stands. You know how stands like to fight each other with these album war battles? You can't just have mass buying parties anymore where you know what I mean? I'm going to make sure that Sexy Songs for You gets here. Or I'm gonna make sure, the Pink Print too.
Agree to run streams up.
Right. And so that's a different thing. That's the radio. You know what I mean? That's the station head. Those are still, you can still kind of do that. Run the actual streams up, but you can't just mass buy. You can't just put your album out and then make it go real super cheap and then sell 100,000 in the last 3 days because you lowered the album prices. All those rules are being changed. Now I'm not sure who's bringing these changes about. I'm not sure who these changes are here to stop. You know what I mean? I'm not listen, I don't know.
Lucian trying to expose that Drake.
It might be the Drake rule. They calling it the Travis Scott rule online. You know what I mean?
It's gonna hurt a lot of people.
Nah, bro, the timing of it tells me that Lucian is bending the rules to show that we did a lot to make sure your numbers were protected. I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like to me.
It feels to me those two kind of stick out to me because you had the days before rodeo with I think it sold the most in the first week last year. Travis Scott, the mixtape he re-dropped, and then the next week I think it dropped completely off of Billboard. Like it went from like 490 to like less than 20. Like it was crazy because Travis Scott is a super Billboard manipulator when it comes to album the price point drops and different album covers, and you could buy 10.
So they're trying to reset the margins to prove who's who.
They are. They really are. They really are. So I find it very interesting.
That's gonna wind up burning a lot of people.
How does a sale in Argentina count?
That was the. I can't tell you specifically, but that's really in. It's kind of weird. That's how these fan bases fight each other nowadays. So I can't tell
VPNs, maybe?
Right. It could have to do with VPNs. It's a higher level of technology that's being
post-pandemic. A lot of people are doing that VPN shit.
Right.
They used to tell you like how many was sold in each country, kind of shit. So I'm thinking maybe like that. That's where they keep the.
And
count.
if you know
that
that's
VPN is your local.
Right.
They don't treat you as a region.
Right.
So a lot of Billboard chart changing rules. I'm interested to see how these next slew of albums, because other than the top 3 or 4 guys, it seemed like nobody sold anyway last year. On a huge level of what we're used to seeing. I'm not trying to shit on people putting out they works of art, but I'm just saying like
300,000 type shit.
Right. I'd like to see what Tyler is next. I'd like to see what this solo Drake does. You know what I'm saying? Very interested. Listen, Kanye don't even. Who cares? Except for Walt. Who cares except for Walt?
Just Walt.
Is Bully out or not?
But I got it. I downloaded it.
You gotta.
It's not on the DSPs.
You gotta search for it. You gotta.
I think Coach sent it in the chat.
No, but I did. Because I shared that.
So you guys gonna make me ask
with my boy, and he said that that's not even the album.
Jarv, you gonna make me ask?
Yeah,
It started with the Preacher Man.
I haven't listened, so
Dean, you gonna make me ask?
I don't care.
Sin, is it on a stem player, man?
Oh my God. Nah, it's on. You can access it on a regular. You can access it. That's what I thought I heard.
Pretended to leave once, man. All you do is get up again.
I thought I heard.
Well,
yeah.
Mase, what's going on in Texas though?
Listen, man, listen. Let's talk about it because we've been getting a little federal, right? We've been getting a little federal, right? Right now, we got some interesting stuff going on in Texas. We reported this back around the time that the issues were going on. About the death of Mo 3. Dallas, Fort Worth legend, if you want to be honest, like ran with Boosie, ran with a lot of folks, like a real local legend out there. People fucked with Mo 3. He passed, he was murdered in 2021, you know, in an infamous type of situation. You know, Yella Beezy was out there talking crazy to him. Trap Boy Freddy was out there talking crazy to him. It was that era, right, where rappers were dying and other rappers were claiming it, and it was a real crazy time. We lost a lot of rappers in that time. PNB, King Von, Pop Smoke. It was a lot going on in that little pandemic shutdown time. But one of the biggest things was the Mo 3 situation. Got murdered on the highway. Was coming from a woman's house, and you know, a lot of things were going on. The murderer was arrested back then. You know, the Kiwan, I believe is his name, but
broad daylight, son up on
broad daylight on the highway. Listen, all type of cameras everywhere. They Yella Beezy has been charged with ordering the hit, 40,000. They saying that homeboy who did the hit flipped on him. He yeah, man, it's a lot of that nowadays. They saying he's testifying against them. Yella Beezy's up on the murder for hire charges, the same thing that Chef G got hit with, if you want to be honest. And so it's a crazy situation, right? Because this was alluded to for years, right? It originally came from a lot of people saying Mo 3 had a situation where he shot at Yella Beezy. You got the situation with Roy Lee, the comedian that was damn good friends with Mo 3, got into an issue with Yella Beezy, ended up getting killed himself, and they saying that this situation derives from that. So it's real interesting in you know, Dallas. You got a lot of things. Dallas got a big local hip hop scene. Yeah, they got a lot of rappers out there that they really love. But this is a big hit. Yella Beezy's like the biggest national star out there. Mo 3 being one of the most beloved local stars. You know what I mean? This is like a huge kind of hit to their situation over there. They say Trap Boy Freddy, who's down with Yella Beezy, is currently on the run. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what's really going on with that situation. It is. Yella Beezy actually, his grandmother said that she didn't realize, you know, she didn't know about his finances. So they're saying that got his bail lowered from $3 million to $750K. So he should be able to, you know, match that. So he probably be out before trial. But the entire situation is insane. It just, you know, I know there's a story like this in every city, but this was kind of crazy when it happened. You know what I mean? So, you know, rest in peace, Mo 3. You know what I mean? I don't want to just shout out anybody that might have done this, you know, but Yella Beezy, you know, Godspeed, bro. Crazy situation. And considering what was just going on in you know, with the Rolling 60s out in LA, another situation seemingly getting, you know, tied up. You know, the feds love this shit, man. Oh, yeah. They love this shit, man.
Time.
Well, we got report the news as it happens, you know, as people continue to complain about the quick tangent before we get into the next segment. As people complain about, oh, we're talking about Kendrick and Drake and all this and that. You know, I want to just make it clear again. Stop looking at the thumbnail and the title and not pressing play and watching this podcast in its entirety. It'd be so much topics that we have on these every pod, regardless of who's on the thumbnail, it's at least 3 to 4 topics, at least on every pod. Mm-hmm. So when y'all get the complaint, oh, y'all talking about Kendrick and Drake. Listen, you know, like, people don't understand how YouTube works, so I'm not gonna curse them out. But as you cultivate a fan base and you curate a subscribership and a listenership or a viewership, they want a certain thing from you. So if we have a bunch of Kendrick fans who are subscribed to us, they came here through the battle, we're gonna give them what they want. But in the midst of giving them what they want, we're gonna give them some other things too.
Right.
So if you see the thumbnail and you just assume that we just talk about Kendrick every episode and we don't talk about nothing else, let this episode be an example. Matter of fact, let every single numbered episode, we won't even tell you to watch the lives. Let every single numbered episode break down that regardless of what's on the thumbnail, we still delivering mad, highfalutin rap content.
Yes,
Stop complaining about this shit, my nigga. Kendrick gonna be on all these thumbnails, nigga. Fuck you talking about?
Like, come on.
And when Nas drop, it's gonna be mad Nas thumbnails, nigga, because he popping. He making news. If they make news and our subscribership likes it, we're gonna get. Imagine us not giving the subscribers what they want.
Got to
Come
give
on.
the people.
So I feel like it's imperative of us to explain to them how YouTube works. We're not only talking about them, but they are the draw. They're the A side, to use a boxing reference. Stop the complaining. If you complain again, I'm going to curse you out. I'm being nice tonight. Anyway.
Job, they want more
The
Killer
Frank
Priest
stamp
thumbnails,
is
bro.
open.
More Big Noise thumbnails, man.
We get the people. They be thinking, right? Because like they don't be understanding. Like they just think that we just randomly pick shit. Now on YouTube, it's not. The internet is vast, but every YouTube channel has their own personal algorithm, and within the algorithm, they have people who tune in and they get fed, even if they're not subscribed. When you go to your homepage on YouTube, we're there,
Right.
And if there's a lot of Kenny fans, there are a lot of Drake fans.
They gonna tap in.
Why would we talk about some other rapper?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why would we not give the niggas who want to press play some shit that they don't want to see?
And it's news. It's news.
Come on,
It's
bro.
Current
There you go.
news.
All right. Biggest story, Akademiks, one of the biggest streamer, one of in this kind of realm. He's still talking about this shit. But we can't.
2 T's. Bigger picture, they got Drake every episode.
Maybe
Like,
one of these days I don't want to give away the secret sauce, so I won't. But it's like y'all gotta start really understanding how shows get put together, B.
y'all do.
Gotta
Y'all
dive
do.
in.
Watch First Take. They talk about the Lakers and then they talk about some other shit. Then the top of the second hour, they talk about the Lakers and they talk about some other shit. Just like pay attention.
That's what they do, man.
Time for the mailbag.
Wait, what happened to the Killer Army?
Shit. We're gonna do it on the live.
Damn
Nah,
it.
Swarm, damn it.
Fuck.
Firebird Phoenix, friend of the show,
Salute.
Oh, yeah, that's the homie.
talking to Sin. He says, Sin! 2
What?
exclamation points. If I see Doechii in them drawers one more time, I'm declaring her a talented plant. Job, I felt how you opened that part, but bro always in the drawers now, not necessary. She be in them drawers.
She
She
be
in them drawers a lot.
Wow.
Baby
It
white.
was-
I ain't gonna front.
It was like once or twice.
There's mad videos
Nah,
of Doechii
bro.
cheeks.
It's like it was like
Wow.
once or twice,
Wow,
I'll draw
Yeah.
cheek pics.
I
bro.
know
She was
exactly
out.
how,
Once
I
or
know the
twice
shape
this
of her
week.
cheeks. I know how they jiggle. I know that she.
Racked
I
up.
know how she just tone. There
Racked
ain't too much
up,
wiggle.
shorty.
She's
I
Yeah,
could
it was
pick
a
them
good
out of
job.
a
It
police
was a good
lineup,
job.
son.
yeah. Was
Pick
it-
the cheeks
it was
out
a
the
good job.
lineup.
Oh,
is
she bought
crazy.
those?
Yeah, those the BBs.
Yeah, she got a nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Yeah.
a great job.
she
I
spent
thought
some
this
Damn
good
good job.
money.
Good job.
Exceptional money.
was on her cheeks this whole time.
Mm-mm.
Nah,
She said it though as much on the show too.
Yeah, she's not.
On what show?
Some podcast she had with.
I don't listen to Doechii podcasts.
Yeah, but
You know that.
she admitted
Facts.
she admitted to she got the BBL.
Continuing, he says it's gonna end up coming into his own life and overshadowing the music. Look good, but I don't like it for her. She's too nice with it for all of that. So it's Firebird Phoenix saying she don't need to shake so much ass to get her point across. What do
I
you
don't
say,
even
Sam?
see her shaking that much ass.
Trying to shake.
Like
ass.
Lying,
Shot's
bro.
a Firebird
She's
Phoenix.
kind of shaking ass though.
What?
She's shaking
I don't even
ass,
see it, bro.
but it's not like Nicki Minaj or Meg Thee Stallion level. Like
Bro, she was on the stage with a thong on. It
Yeah,
was just
she's.
how many
cheeks.
times?
How many times you need?
There's music
Yo,
videos
so
with her
Sin
cheeks.
gets
It was
on
like
defense.
How many
She had
times
the
you
green
It
with
was
her
like
cheeks.
one or
When-
twice.
when Sin
once
is
or
on
twice,
defense, man.
I
We
also
love the
see
cheeks,
her-
but we just
I see
saying.
her
No
Fashion
buckets.
Week. You know what I mean? I
Pussy
see.
at Fashion Week. She flashed shit. It wasn't that Fashion Week.
Yeah.
She just had a big show
That
on
was an
stage bro,
accident,
in her
bro.
drawers. Like,
Whoopsie.
you know what I'm saying?
Yo, not the Mortal Kombat, bro.
Yo.
Yo.
Hey, man, we gotta move on.
Shit, man.
Karen,
Interesting name.
7569 says,
Karen.
yes, Joey Bodman wasted our time. There was no climax, pause, and caps
Yo.
to this scuffle. He now looks like he came unprepared and unplanned, just clout chasing. Maybe Conductor put him onto this. Maybe 50 Cent put him onto this. outside in caps. Dini, your thoughts?
Like I said, I thought I got what I was gonna get out of this. I didn't think I was gonna get. This wasn't Nas and Jay Part 2. You know, I got what I thought I was gonna get. I got 3 good records. I got a few responses from a few good talented West Coast cats, man. I didn't think it was gonna go further than that. I knew he had to go back to playing unique, and when that happens, everything gonna be back to normal. I don't even think he got another track. Like, actually, no. Maybe he does have another track in him. I stand corrected.
What we've heard is that he has a track, but it ain't dropped yet.
I mean, I believe in Joey though. Joey, you already went for the smoke, so why not? You know, why not finalize? Shout out to you, Karen.
Next one is Heron Delgado 104. They say there has to be 2 sides to a piece up, and Kendrick ain't never doing that. So, laughing my ass off with multiple lows. Mesito, your thoughts?
Listen, Heron, allegedly, completely correct, man. Kendrick hates this guy, bro. Kendrick has hated this guy from the second he got on tour, and this nigga was doing some dumbass dance in the corner. Like, Kenny, look. You know what I mean? Like, it's some shit that happened. It's some shit that happened on that tour. And Kenny said, this nigga's a fucking goofy. You know what I mean? And he's hated him ever since. Like, literally, Drake was asking him to get on songs before this battle.
You said he was Stewart from Mad TV.
Yeah, right. In the corner acting.
Look what
Kenny looked at Schoolboy like, I hate this nigga.
I'm on the tour with this lame ass nigga, man.
Fuck. And he's the star.
Fuck. Where's Rakim? Fucking
Where's Rakim?
Flame this nigga.
All right, now we're going to end it on some positives. You know, I'm going to read them back to back. You got JS10K says, thanks for this Joey combo. I was saying this since back in January. Joey grabbed people's attention and dropped the ball. There was an opportunity to create something exciting for everyone, and Joey could have pivoted to another strategy, but he didn't do anything. Fair is fair. You know what I mean? It is what it is. For now, that's the energy. Ash Poe says, Sin dropped a double double tonight. He was cooking. Shout out to you, Sin. Last but not least, BG Method says, Jarv gave the answer I'd give. I don't really fuck with Playboy, so I don't care one way or the other. Someone with brains. Then we had one more. I'm sorry. We had Pop Nerding. They say, this is the most interesting conversation on the Kendrick features hypocrisy topic. The panel did absolute justice with informed views and takes. This was enlightening. Salute to you. That's what we do it for. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? We're not always going to agree with y'all, but we try to have real nigga conversations for better or worse. Even when trolls come in the comments and I got to throw the Frank at them because they don't really get what's going on. But anyway, yeah, somewhere in New York City, you know, we already got rid of the weeds a few segments ago. Right. But at the same time, there's still vagrants in human form who need to absolutely get off my lawn. Get off Sincere's lawn.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to be more consistent with the flowers that I give out also. So last episode, some flowers from my lawn. Yep. Drum roll, please.
Nah,
not this time. I bet. But I already gave this gentleman some flowers earlier. Common. I wanna share some flowers with Common. He just his album Like Water for Chocolate just celebrated 25 years. Some days ago, as of the airing of this episode, and then next month, his other classic B will be celebrating 20 years. You know what I mean? And so those are pretty big milestones. 25 years, 20 years. You know what I mean? I like to celebrate these things with nice round numbers. You know what I mean? Not necessarily every year. But,
right.
So shouts to Common. I already said earlier, I meant what I said. I'll die on that hill. Common is top 5. He has the discography to prove it. The skills to prove it. The battle scars to prove it. I heard the drop. So I don't have headphones, but I heard the drop. That's all right. Yeah, man. Flowers,
like, who
flowers
is this guy? Where'd he come from? And why do we fucking keep acting like he's somebody that we need to fuck with? Get rid of this guy.
Top 5 where?
Top 5. Dead or alive.
Common.
Top 5. Top 5. Common.
And more
Common. Top 5, nigga.
Dylan and Dylan.
Now, as to who or what I need to kick off my lawn for this episode. So this will be a little bit unorthodox because it's not a person, it's not a group of people.
Oh, this is different.
Time period.
What?
Wow. Better not be
A very
90s.
recent time period.
God damn.
This
Rap
first
round
quarter
table.
of 2025 has to get the fuck
Oh,
Like, what the fuck is going on right
Yo.
now, man?
It's slow
a
motion.
lot of nothing.
A lot of nothing. That like now I do realize because I'm nothing if I'm not self-aware. I am changing my tune from a few months ago. Back in January, you know what I mean? There was a conversation that we had here. Right? Is there enough happening at the top of the year? And it was on, we were only like a month, less than a month in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so I was like, let's give this year a chance. You know what I mean? Let's not be so quick to judge. Let's not be so hasty. It's been a full 3 months now. It's a whole quarter.
Yeah.
A whole quarter.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on out there, y'all?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nathan.
Joey kicked off the top of the year with
What's that?
some false hope. You know what I mean? We thought we was gonna get some action, kind of low key. We talked about it last episode. Kind of low key wasted our time. I mean, Drake went and dropped more incel anthems.
Damn.
I'm sorry, Mase.
Hey.
Damn.
Kanye has gone full Nazi. You can edit this out in post if we have to.
That's crazy.
Fucking swastikas on the shirts. What the fuck is going on? He supposedly dropped an album that, where the fuck is it at? Where can it be found? We have to go searching through the internet to find an active link.
No stem.
Walt, you have on YouTube.
Well, I've made it clear last episode. Fuck Kanye West. I'm not searching for shit. Fuck that album. Fuck whatever he got to say.
Joey tried to set the tone for this year. You know what I mean, to lead the charge. It didn't happen for him. Who's leading the charge? Playboy Cardi? Playboy Cardi sells 300K?
300.
That's where we at in 2025? That's who's
300.
leading the fucking charge? Now look, Kendrick features or not, I don't care. I'm not a fan of the guy. So I'm not gonna celebrate Playboy Cardi.
But you said good credit. Kendrick's verse is good.
I'm not celebrating Playboy Cardi being the face of hip hop right now in 2025 in the first quarter.
You reacted to good credit though.
Fuck out of here.
Okay.
Now, I do want to, shine some light on some positives. You know what I mean? We had a West Side Gun project. You know what I mean? That was dope. You know what I mean? We had another project that was dope. But I even have a problem with this other project that I like because it's like, it was a dope project, but like,
Take your time.
it involved Titty Boy. I'm celebrating the Titty Boy in
Yes.
featured album. I understand Alchemist
Shout out to Larry,
and Larry
bro.
June,
You go to the right neighborhood,
but
they call me
fucking
that.
Titty Boy. I'm excited to have had a Titty Boy album
Yes.
The
drop
Rap
this
Round
year.
Table.
Talk about it.
What's that?
Listen,
What's that,
listen.
brother?
With 2025, we need better. We need better for the rest of the year, man. We need more. Cole, where you at? You know what I mean? Drake, no more incel anthems. Kendrick, spin the block. You know what I mean? Tyler, I don't know who else. Rome, come on. Rome,
Yeah,
we need
Rome.
more Rome. We need
Rome.
more Ransom. You know what I mean?
Is it gonna be a hot summer stuff?
We need
Nas
we
and
need more.
Primo,
Nas
right?
and Primo, we need that. Where's this Clips album that we've been promised?
Yeah.
Where's
Talk
it
about
at?
it. Talk about it.
We need this Clips album.
This is facts.
Push, Malice, you know what I mean? Low, if you know anything, please fill us in.
Stove
CDE
God.
Stove
Stove
Yeah,
God.
Stove
I
album.
don't know about
Hey,
that.
hey.
Crazy.
Damn it, man. So
God
close,
damn it,
but so
man.
far.
As you were.
Oh man. But yeah, man, I'm gonna end my rant there. Like first quarter of 2025 has to get the fuck off my lawn. The rest of the 3 quarters of this year, please do better. Jesus Christ.
I ain't gonna
It's
front.
fucking dry out there, bro.
First quarter of 2025. 2025 is feeling real 2023-ish
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
now.
Bro.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
We just came off one of the littest years ever.
Yeah, it was.
Carry on the baton.
The year
Nah,
of cold.
Sky Zoo
By this
gang, you
time-
gotta tap in.
Yo, no disrespect.
Oh, I got nothing to do with Sky Zoo either.
Holy moly.
You gotta tap in, nigga. Anyway,
Oh man.
Tonight's entertainment.
listen, man, if y'all get it by now, we are tonight's entertainment, man.
You niggas
Y'all
what?
niggas can't fuck with us.
Absolutely.
D need a balance. Take us home, man.
Yo, shout out Walter Great, man. Always holding us down, my guy.
Yes, sir.
Good Knicks hat on.
Yes, sir.
Good Schoolboy Q shirt. He ready for war. Walter Great. Shout out to the motherfucking chat, man. Each and every one of you.
The legends.
Hit the like button. Subscribe. We love y'all. Thank y'all for fucking with us from the day ones to the year sixes. We at 6 now. Like, we really appreciate y'all. This shit ain't nothing without y'all. Much love, man. Masito, voice of the culture. Sincere the rap snob. You hear the production. He makes
Super
beats.
producer. That's
You already
him.
fucking know the vibes, man.
fact.
Legend in 2 games like Pee Wee Kirkland.
The
Jaw
GOAT.
of the point guard, man.
Yeah.
I'm Dean the balance of the force. So with our
Dope.
powers combined, you know what the fuck it is, man. Episode 120 of the Rap Roundtable, you dig? We out of here. Love, baby.
120. Cheers to another 120
Yes,
more.
sir.
You
While
dig?
the rest of y'all niggas die off, it's because
You niggas what?
can't fuck with us. We out of here.
You know? Mighty healthy.
Never in a million years.